Super Smash Bros. Melee is a game that advances through time because of its rich history. Over the span of 2 decades, Melee has survived, evolved, and still manages to surprise us all sometimes. 2023 marked the end of an era, alongside the closest and most unprecedented race for Rank 1 the game has ever known. A new age Big 3 in Jmook, Zane, and Cody Schwab really did give us one of the most unique year-long narratives in Melee history. Every year, Super Smash Bros. Melee bends the minds of what most humans thought was possible. It has been a spectacle to watch this game and its competitive scene thrive over the last 23 years, and 2023 has been equally as enthralling. This is the story of Melee in 2023. Our story begins on January 20th, 2023, as the doors to the San Jose Convention Center open for the 9th installment of the Genesis Tournament series. Beginning in 2009, the Genesis series played host to many of the game's greatest moments, and that name was perhaps fitting as the first major event of the year. In a biblical sense, Genesis meant the beginning of something, an account of the creation of the world, and in a definitive sense, Genesis meant an origin, creation, or beginning. Genesis 9 was the biggest super major of the year, with Melee truly at full force. Of the 1,253 entrants, the highest amount of all majors in 2023, nearly everybody you could ask for was in attendance, including almost all of the top 10 from SSBM Rank 2022. In addition, Armada, regarded by many as one of the greatest players of all time, as well as the champion of Genesis 2 through 4, traveled across the pond from Sweden to attend as a commentator. Going into the tournament, Mango, one of the original gods of Melee and a player who had seen himself in grand finals of the first 4 Genesis tournaments, decided to sandbag in pools with Dr. Mario. He was ultimately matched into Taj, one of the most prolific Mewtwo mains in the game, a consistent top 3 player in Arizona from 2007 to 2017, as well as PG Stats' 47th best Melee player of all time. Given Mango's tenure in the competitive scene, it was no surprise for him to have rematched some old heads of the game, but this one was a little bit different. Turning the clocks back to 2011 at Genesis 2, Taj was in the midst of the run of his career when he blitzed his way past a small host of the world's best at the time, like Hax, PPMD, and Mango, before coming up short against Armada in Winners Finals. This was also a Mewtwo Peach set, by the way, which, 2011 Melee was something else, man. But despite this run of almost complete one-way traffic, Taj would famously forfeit his Losers Finals match against Mango when the previous year's Genesis champion decimated him so badly he famously unplugged his controller and walked off the stage after just Game 2. 12 years later, Taj finally had the chance to redeem himself by taking down Mango after a tight Game 5 set to finally put the ghost of his past behind him once and for all. Also, they played Mewtwo Doc, which, Melee in 2023 was something else, man. Taj would go on to complete his Genesis 9 run at 33rd, marking the highest placement of a solo Mewtwo player at a post-Project Slippy era major, while Mango would fall to Mateo in Losers at 97th, marking the worst placement of his Melee singles career.
Mango, please! Oh, okay.
In doubles, Hungrybox and Plup took first place after an absurdly stacked bracket, beating SFAT Gatsu, Shroomed S2J, and Jmook Cody Schwab twice. This performance put them in the running for the best current doubles team, and it marked Plup's 3rd year in a row and 4th overall of winning Melee doubles at Genesis. And speaking of Hungrybox, he continued his streak of never missing a top 8 over 13 years and 8 iterations of the Genesis Tournament series. Joining him in top 8 though was another Jigglypuff player named Toussaint. Defeating Amsa, Sunsei, and Kadoran at 2022's SSBM Rank 2, 22, and 12 respectively, Toussaint's appearance alongside HBox marked the first time since Apex 2014 where 2 Jigglypuff players made it into top 8 of a Melee major. Wow, that was a lot of 2s.
Toussaint. Oh!
He's
That's
Oh my goodness.
Is that not good enough?
It's over.
The double jump that
Toussaint
has
is top
to be.
8.
Rolling up, and Toussaint takes the set, and is up to top 8. He makes it to top 8.
There you go.
Wow.
There are 2 puffs in top 8, my friend.
2 puffs in top 8.
Elsewhere in the bracket, we saw incredible performances from players like Spark, who went on arguably his best run of 2023, beating Gatsu, SFAT and Aklo, 2 notable Sheik Slayers, and Salt before falling to Fiction for 13th. As well, the Canadian phenom Curtis Moki Pratt, who saw his highest major placement ever at Genesis 9. On the way to top 8 winner side, he took tremendous wins over Hungrybox and Cody Schwab, then defeated Plup in top 8 before falling out of the event at 3rd place. Cody Schwab announced at Genesis 9 his new sponsorship with Counterlogic Gaming, and the new sponsor appeared to power up his play as he would complete a loser's run through AMSA, Toussaint, Zane, and Plup to finish at second.
Can this go to a Game 4?
We're gonna find out. I'll smash.
And he did.
Perfect play.
Oh my goodness, that was...
He said, repeat no more.
Wow. We will not have a repeat this year.
CLG's own,
There will be a
IPW.
fresh Genesis champion here in 2023.
At 1:43 a.m. on April 18th, 2022, Jake Jmook Dorado would tweet, "This is the greatest day of my life." A dark horse at Genesis 8, Jmook would go on arguably the greatest Cinderella run in Melee's competitive history as he cruised his way to a second place finish. At the time of Genesis 8, only 6 other players had ever made an appearance in Genesis Grand Finals, those being Armada, Mango, Plup, Hungrybox, Axe, and Zane. As the 21st seed, Jmook entered that pantheon of greatness and also became the lowest seeded player to make it to a Grand Finals at a Melee Major since Fly Amanita did it at Press Start in 2015 and Bomb Soldier did it at Jack Garden Tournament in 2005. In addition, the run went down in history as the highest placement at a Melee Super Major from a player not ranked on any official global power ranking. There was only one way for Jmook to go from that point forward, and it was up. Fighting for a shot at gold this time around, Jmook had an incredible Game 5 set against SFOP on his way to top 8, but didn't face another significant challenge until he stood opposite Zane, the #1 ranked Melee player in the world. Though Jmook ended 2022 with an even 4-4 set count against Zane, here stood a former Genesis champion, as well as one of the favorites to win the entire event. But it was after a narrow 3-2 set where Jmook was able to stand proud, then beating Moki, including one of the sickest Sheik combos of the year, and lastly IBDW in Grand Finals to take home his first ever major tournament, as well as Solo Sheik's first North American major win since Captain Jack's victory at MLG San Francisco 2004, 18 years prior. It's only fitting that the tournament series, which gave birth to some of Melee's most iconic moments, rivalries, and beginnings, created yet another in Jmook and his underdog story.
It's amazing how much it writes itself. I mean, honestly, Genesis 8, let's just talk about last year for a second. So I was working part-time at Starbucks. I was working 30 hours a week, taking 5 or 6 classes, and coming home and maybe playing unranked for like an hour, and that was my practice leading up into Genesis. So Genesis for me was kind of a return to Super Majors, to return to competition on the big stage like that, and to go from that to this as a sponsored player by FlyQuest, to really put my all into something, to really craft the best version of myself just from getting better at video game. It's been so life-changing.
At 9:20 p.m. on January 22nd, 2023, Jake Jmook Dorado would tweet, "This is now the greatest day of my life."
IBDW is on a tightrope right now, 132%. He's going to have to completely, cleanly open Jmook up if he wants a chance.
Wait, that'll do it.
That might have been it.
That's
That
it.
weak
Yeah.
reverse hit there. Jmook is your Genesis 9 champion, making history today, lighting up the venue. People have been waiting to see Jmook take home a first place. We saw the rap sheet second, but Jmook now can say that he is a Genesis champion. First place.
He quit Starbucks for this.
Yeah.
He quit Starbucks for this.
He quit
And
Starbucks for this.
congratulations, Jmook.
Congratulations.
No more silver surfing. We surfing up gold, baby.
A couple months later in Parsippany, New Jersey, we followed up an explosive start to the year with Collision 2023. Predominantly an Ultimate event over the past few years, Melee was last seen at this series in 2016 at Collision 14. A smaller entrant count at 493 and a couple dropouts in Leffen and Ginger perhaps made this event a bit less grandiose than Genesis, but the East Coast brought in just as much talent on the top end, including Jmook, now in consideration for best in the world after his win at Genesis. Zane also showed, hungry for a rematch and to win his first major of the year, with his last coming at the Ludwig Smash Invitational in October of 2022. In addition, we saw other big-name contenders like Cody Schwab and Moki, who both went on great runs at Genesis, Hungrybox, Axe, Aklo, Lod, and Kadoran, to name a few. As March rolled around and Collision grew closer as the next major to look out for, questions surfaced across the community. Could Jmook hold up after winning his first major? Is this perhaps the year of the Sheik? What about Zane, the #1 player of 2022? All of these questions and more would be answered at Collision 2023, but I want to detour for a hot second and show some love to Smash Ultimate because this Incineroar player, SkyJ, made it all the way to second place at Collision, and that is just so rad. Also important to note, but a couple weeks before Collision, Beyond the Summit, a popular esports production company known for creating the Smash Summit series, had announced that they would be ceasing operations after their final event. The onset of Collision to breathe some life into an otherwise somber time in Smash was needed perhaps now more than ever. Let's first talk about an interesting international competitor. Finishing at 38th on the 2022 Top 100, Spain's own Triff found little difficulty in navigating the winners bracket other than a close Game 5 set to Miffy to pit himself against Rishi for a spot in top 32. And although this was the first time these two had ever crossed paths before in bracket, Triff was easily the favorite to take this set, as the Spaniard had attained previous victories over a couple of Melee's great Marth players in Mewtwo King and Zane. But in a rather surprising upset, Rishi would cleanly sweep this set 3-0. Triff ended up going on a 4-set win streak in the losers bracket, beating Preeminent, Bebat, Swift, and Crudo, only dropping a single game on the way. Triff would ultimately be stopped by Moki just outside of top 8 to finish the event at 9th, while Rishi would equal that placement, next beating Kadoran in an upset Game 5 and then falling to Cody Schwab and Aklo. Also worth mentioning, this was Rishi's only major tournament of 2023, with the only majors he attended the year before that being Apex, the Ludwig Smash Invitational Last Chance Qualifier, and Super Smash Con. Also, sure, we can count the function, but only because the last game of that set was DK vs Link. Speaking of Aklo, after he knocked out Rishi, he was surprisingly eliminated from the tournament by Rishi's brother, Lod. I'm not kidding, these guys are actually brothers. But similar to Rishi, Lod was also a bit of a recluse in the competitive Melee scene. His reasoning was a little bit different though, because he was a doctor? So, yeah. In addition to Collision, Lod only attended another small handful of major level events in 2023, and he only went to 7 majors total in 2022, which was enough to afford him a number 11 spot on SSBM Rank 2022. Aklo and Lod's set was really interesting, with Aklo showing here the beginning of his willingness to play Link into floaty matchups. These two went to Game 5, but a last-minute switch to Fox for Aklo spelled his demise, with Lod narrowly scraping out the win.
Oh, it's going to take his one catch.
Steady wins the race.
They're both
I mean, to be fair, anything will trade with Peach at this point.
Recovery. Mid-Shorten doesn't get there. We talked about mid-Shortens at the beginning of the set, and it's what cost him.
The one time we don't see it. Can we get some shout-outs to the King of New York? Aklo for a very strong 7%. 7th place.
After that win, Lod would exit the tournament at 5th place, including wins over Axe and Amsa, but he would fall out to another Canadian phenom by the name of Zuppy. Zuppy was on probably the best run of his tournament career here, starting off with a reverse sweep against SSBM Rank 2022 number 2 and the best Yoshi player in the world, Amsa. He then followed that up with an upset victory over his Canadian counterpart, Moki, and finally bowed out of the winner's bracket after a graceful 3-0 to Zane. After that, Zuppy would beat the aforementioned Lod 3-1 to make it into loser semis, where he would finally be stopped by Jmook for a career-high 4th place. And as a quick aside, mostly because I find this hilarious and just insane, but Crudo went on one of the most unique losers runs of Collision, having played 3 straight sets against back-to-back-to-back Jigglypuff mains Miffy, Khalid, and Dawson, and he ultimately finished at 13th. Okay, let's actually keep talking about Sheik though, because on commentary we discussed Zane's season and Jmook's season, and if Genesis 9 and the start of 2023 was any indication, it was looking like Jmook's year. After that historic run at Genesis 9, the question on everyone's minds was if Jmook could do it again at Collision. I mean, yeah, Jmook did take Genesis from the winner's side, and I guess you're not a true competitor until you taste victory from the grueling losers bracket. Well, fortunately for everyone, Jmook would get his opportunity for a loser's run here after being taken out by his friend Cody Schwab. He wouldn't stay down for long though, tackling Moki, Zuppy, and Cody in the run back to face off against, wouldn't you guess it, Zane in Grand Finals. Determined for a loser's side W, Jmook stomped through Zane in a dominant 3-0 to reset the bracket and take the first set. Zane though, proving his place as the world's greatest, took set 2 by storm, going up 2-0 early. But maybe it was the split chance for both competitors in the crowd which gave Jmook the power-up he needed, winning a high percent Game 3 to stay alive. A trusty Final Destination counterpick wouldn't do the trick either, as Jmook clawed his way back and brought it to one final game to win Collision 2023. Running it right back to FD, Zane found himself cornered, outmatched, and outpostured as Jmook would complete the reverse 3-0 and take home back-to-back majors. One from winners, one from losers. With this win, Jmook had solidified himself as one of the greats and proved that the next generation of Melee talent is here to stay.
Oh, Nair sends the wrong way from Zane. This could be a bear. It's Jmook! Does it for losers! That's crazy! We gotta win from the winner's side! We gotta win from the loser's side! Waited over 20 years for a Sheik to win a major! Wins the 2 biggest events of the year! We got back-to-back. Your answer is loud and clear, ladies and gents. This is Jmook's year.
We find ourselves here again. Jmook, you are the champion once more.
Crazy.
You're 2023.
Crazy.
What does this mean to you?
It means a lot. All of this is happening so fast, first of all. But I'm not upset with the pace.
A few weeks following Collision, we traveled back over to the West Coast, in Portland, Oregon, for Major Upset. This was the latest edition of the Back in Blood saga, dialing in at 384 entrants for Melee singles, and once again, the top end looked good. No Jmook this time, but we did get a worthy Sheik replacement in Plup, a bit of a recluse in terms of major attendance, but a player that peaked as high as rank 2 on the 2018 summer rankings. Alongside him, we got Cody Schwab, who finished 2022 at rank 4, Hungrybox and Amsa, who perhaps need no introduction at this point, and a little bit further down the rankings, players like Lod, Sunsei, Magi, S2J, and SFAT. HBox and Plup once again took doubles here, keeping on a soft win streak of the majors that they've teamed at, but they would be given a small challenge by the wacky duo of Axe and Amsa, sporting their weirdo Pikachu-Yoshi team composition. And over in singles, despite being a smaller event on the 2023 calendar, it was an absolute bloodbath. All the way back in the ye olden time of 2014, Steven Fat Goku Calliope made his first appearance on the Oregon Melee Power Rankings at number 8. By 2023, Fat Goku had more than established a sterling reputation as a top-tier competitor as well as a beloved community member. But right before setting out to compete at what was to be his second major of the year in Major Upset, he announced that he would be retiring from the game following the conclusion of this event. This announcement, while coming as a bit of a surprise to most within the community, was met with widespread support, and several prominent Melee members and figures chimed in to show their appreciation for the revered Oregon powerhouse. As for the actual event, Fat Goku proved the Dragon Ball Zenkai is real. He fell to losers against S2J, a prominent Captain Falcon main, but would then beat 2 NorCal players in Free Hops and Kevbot before bowing out at 17th. Major Upset also marked a quiet step back from competition for another player. Zach SFAT Cordoni was regarded by many as a part of the greatest doubles team of all time. Together with his static teammate and one of his best friends, Kevin PPU Toy, the two donned the team name PewFat and became one of the first ever doubles-focused teams to be picked up by an esports organization in CounterLogic Gaming. PPU ultimately stepped down from competitive play in March of 2021, and as a result, SFAT's participation in the doubles format began to dwindle down. The pair did have a reunion showing at a regional event just a week before Major Upset at the NorCal Classic 2, where they of course won the doubles bracket, but that would be the only glimpse of their team's greatness the Smash community would get to see since PPU's retirement. Regardless though, SFAT at Majors was still a welcome sight. Before this, he had competed at Genesis 9 where he placed 33rd in singles and 5th in doubles teaming with Gatsu, but there really wasn't a ton of data to go off for this guy. His run here was solid, beating Skurzo in the winners bracket, then losing to Cody Schwab and advancing through Aura and Space Pigeon before finally falling to Kadoran. SFAT would finish 9th at Major Upset, just one round from making it to top 8. After a great performance at Collision, Lod showed up once again. He had a close Game 5 bout with Magi but managed to clutch up, a win that has certainly aged well as we move into 2024. Then, after falling to the losers bracket, he would beat S2J and Kadoran before going last stock Game 5 with Hungrybox, in a matchup Lod himself thought was unwinnable. That one wasn't meant to be though, as HBox came down from the Angel platform, found a quick up air, and swiftly ended the set with a rest. Lod would exit Major Upset at 5th and would proceed to disappear off the face of the planet in terms of attending any relevant majors for about 3 months. As for Hungrybox, he would only go a single round further after Lod, losing in a Game 5 run back to Amsa, but he did manage to win a Game 5 set in winners over the Dino off the back of a timeout. HBox and Amsa had ended 2022 exactly even in sets at 6-6, so this one here was encouraging for a unique rivalry to emerge as the year progressed.
Hungrybox is 5 seconds away. He's getting up.
He's standing up.
Hungrybox got up.
What are you standing up for?
Oh my, Hungrybox with a statement.
One of the most impressive runs of the entire tournament came out of Miles Sunsei Foster, a Canadian Foxmain from Alberta, Canada.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Almost every single match that Sunsei played in was hard fought from start to finish. He went Game 5 against Aura, Game 5 against Chango, and Game 4 against Lod to qualify for top 8 through the winner's side. In case you wanted more nail-biters, Sunsei also went Game 5 against Plup. Yeah, that same Plup that I mentioned earlier, the one who was ranked 2 on the summer 2018 rankings. Sunsei unfortunately couldn't go the distance here, but this run was already an impressive showing, and following a subsequent 3-1 loss to Amsa, he would exit Major Upset with a result matching his career-high 5th at the Big House 10.
Oh, this is so close, both of them.
Oh my god. Just falling down with the fair, and that will do it. Lump beats Sunsei. Game 5 last stock.
What a crazy set.
As the first seed of this smaller event, it wasn't much of a surprise to see Cody Schwab handle his business. From his first showing on SSBM rank 2017 at 84th in the world, Cody has seen a steady increase in his performance, capping off at rank 4 on SSBM rank 2022. The only player to outrank him at this event was Amsa, but with Cody sporting a healthy 6-2 set record over the Yoshi in 2022, as well as a 3-1 set win at Genesis a few months prior, I think it was safe to say there wasn't much for him to worry about there. Plus, Hungrybox and Plup had already done the service of taking Amsa out of the equation, position, so from here it appeared to be smooth sailing for the player once called IBDW. Living up to that first seed, Cody seemed to breeze his way past his opponents Fishbait, SFAT, and Axe, only dropping a single game to Axe on the way. And at this point, given the relative rankings of those in attendance, the real question on everyone's mind was if anyone could even give Cody a meaningful challenge. And surprisingly, his first real struggle came from Hungrybox, a player whom Cody also had a dominant set record against, only dropping a combined 4 sets to HBox since 2020, with some of those matches being online. Cody's proficiency over the Jigglypuff Master can be partially attributed to Armada, one of the old-time legends of the game. Armada's storied rivalry with HBox spurred on a bit of coaching for the starry-eyed Cody Schwab, who had lost a handful of sets to the box in 2019. Cody and Armada even teamed in the doubles format of the Kid, the Goat, and the Mango back in 2019 as well. Regardless though, Cody was recognized as a grinder through and through. Perhaps paying homage to his original gamer tag, he was willing to put in the work for any tough matchup or player in order to achieve his goals. He had broken down Hungrybox and his Jigglypuff to a science and became nearly unbeatable in that matchup. One might I add, which was thought to be almost favored for Jigglypuff back in the day, or even still today if you're Leffen. Anyway, Cody was very much expected to win this set, but HBox put up a good fight, bringing it all the way to Game 5. Cody would take this match to guarantee at least third, and then follow that up with another tight Game 5, going last stock against Plup. After punching his ticket into Grands, Plup returned for the runback after defeating Amsa, and this Grands was a treat to watch. I honestly think it was a bit underappreciated in terms of high-level Fox Chic, given how much of the spotlight Jmook had taken in the past couple months, but man, this was sick. Plup goes down to a 2-0 game deficit, brings it all the way back to a decisive Game 5, and as a cherry on top, Cody SD's first stock. Somehow Cody finds his way back into the game and closes it out before a bracket reset can happen, but that is just such good melee. With this win, Cody would get on the board with his first major win of the year at albeit a smaller event, but given his previous gold medals at Smash Summit 12 and 13, still a victory to be quite proud of.
No hitbox being thrown out.
Wall of bears.
Oh my god!
What a careful down so low! Oh my god, Cody Schwab! What a trap card! Oh my god! Holy shit, Cody Schwab!
How do you beat Shinestall? Shinestall just solved the whole game for that match. That was insane.
About a month and a half would go by until the next major event would hit the shelves, Battle of BC5, happening near the end of May in Vancouver, Canada. If a criticism of Major Upset was that it didn't have the full range of Melee's top brass, this event would have the full range of Melee's top brass. Of the 409 entrants, minus Plup, who of course only goes to like 3 majors a year, we got the big 3 back, in Zane looking for 1, Cody looking for 2, and Jmook looking for 3. Just behind them and at a rightful 4th seed was Moki on a hot streak and excitedly being seated above Amsa, HBox, and Leffen. And a lot of your other usual suspects showed here, like Mango, who was controversially seated 10th, Aklo, Kadoran, and Sunsei, but this event also brought some really welcome additions. Josh Mann, after having made history as the first ever Australian player to top 8 a major at GOML 2022, would be entering his first major of 2023 here. He'd unfortunately forfeit during his set with Aklo after Game 1 due to a broken controller, and would finish Battle of BC5 at 13th place.
Okay, there's the drills that we see so often right there. No shine back there, but bad position for the Peach. Oh. And it's over! Josh Mann takes it back. The reverse 3-0 will not be happening. And we see a little bit of a pop-off from him. I think it's well-deserved.
Definitely. And oh man, Triff almost making such a huge comeback after going down 2-0. Man, what a set.
Also making a long journey was a highly anticipated player, Ingen. Thanks to the help of the Battle of BC5 Compendium, one of the most intriguing Marth players from Japan was funded to fly out to Vancouver. This was awesome, as Ingen had only started playing Melee in 2020, but he quickly rose to first in the Japan 2022 power rankings. There really wasn't a lot of data to go off of here since Ingen started playing so recently and only really played at Japanese tournaments. He was able to make it out to the States for Smash World Tour 2021 and the Scuff World Tour in 2022 where he had decent placements, but this was his first open bracket tournament in North America. Ingen would unfortunately be upset in pools by the Canadian player BZ, and after a couple of wins in the losers bracket, he'd fall out of the tournament at 33rd, losing to another Canadian in Elliott.
Over 100 get up, and that's it.
Wow, BZ does it, upsetting.
Damn.
#1 in Japan.
Doing a little nod, very respectful.
Oh, wow.
Max, a Chic player representing England, ended 2022 as the 3rd best player on the UK Melee power rankings behind Frenzy and Professor Pro. He was able to take a game off of Hungrybox before falling to losers, and would ultimately exit this tournament at 17th after a standoff with Kadoran. Perhaps more importantly though, he got to play in a Max vs Max exhibition match, which he won 3-1. Further into the bracket, we saw Triff from Spain qualify for his first top 8 of the year after just barely missing out at Collision. Along the way, he defeated Forrest, Elliott, Zuppy, Axe, and Sunsei before falling to S2J, who also made his first top 8 of 2023. For him, following a loss to Zane in the winner's bracket, S2J ran through Spark, Polo, who himself had a crazy 3-1 upset over Fiction, and then Mango's Marth to qualify. After he beat Triff, he'd get stopped by Cody Schwab to finish the event at 5th. The narrative of a 3-way pull for first between Jmook, Zane, and Cody was being written as this year progressed, but Battle of BC was perhaps the most important to Zane, who was still in need of a major victory in 2023. In the time between Zane's Collision 2023 and now, he had left his sponsor Golden Guardians to sign with Moist Moguls, a division of Moist Esports run by Ludwig Ogren. Not seeing Zane at major upset perhaps paved the way to a Cody victory there and put him in the running for number 1. And for Jmook, a win here would surely catapult him even further into the lead. So Zane needed this one to balance the scales a bit. Zane looked strong, beating S2J and Hungrybox in top 8 to match into Cody. Jmook took 2 wins on Joshman and Mango to match into AMSA, and Cody found himself opposite Zane thanks to a small International Fox gauntlet of Zuppy and Leffen. The stage was set, but AMSA was the first one to go off script, knocking the 1 seed into losers with a 3-1 win at their first tournament encounter of 2023. This win was particularly good for AMSA, as Jmook's Sheik counterpart in Plup was an enormous bracket demon, sporting a 6-2 lifetime set record against AMSA, with AMSA's last set win coming at Smash Summit 7 almost 5 years prior in 2018. AMSA and Plup also had played a 1-25 exhibition match at the online Gallant Melee Open Fall 2022, which Plup won 25-2. Yes, that's as insane as it sounds. Anyway, Jmook really seemed to struggle in this matchup though, without a ton of Yoshi representatives out there to practice with, coming close but still going winless against AMSA in the last couple months of 2022. Zane, in turn, beat Cody in what really looked like the set of the year at the time of it being played.
Again, so back and forth between these two players. Cody actually up 6-4. That's a little bit weird in their last 10. If that's not topical, I don't know what is. But let's get into this one right now. Cody's actually been a little bit of a problem for Zane recently. So has Zane come in with some adjustments?
This drafted up a New York loser semi set between Jmook and Cody, 2 longtime friends, but Cody wasn't going to take those G9 and Collision losses laying down. Cody fell in game 1, but quickly turned it around with 3 unanswered to eliminate the current leader in the race for rank 1 at 4th place. It's also worth mentioning that Battle of BC 5 was Cody's first time representing Eggdog Esports, a team created by the YouTuber Zamsire, who had given a sort of soft sponsorship to Cody for the duration of Battle of BC while he remained a free agent. In any case, Cody advanced to losers finals to run it back against Zane, as Zane had just fallen 3-0 to AMSA, still going off script, to punch his ticket into winner's side grands. And in an almost perfect mirror of their winner's side set, where Zane won his 3 games off of a 2-stock, 1-stock, and 3-stock across 5, Cody would win this time in 5 games off of a 2-stock, a 1-stock, and a 3-stock, leaving only AMSA and Cody remaining. This presented a very interesting switch-up to the narrative that was being painted in the scene. AMSA, who ended 2022 as the 2nd best player in the world, the first ever Yoshi to win a Super Major at the Big House 10 and 2 more after that at Apex and Scuff World Tour, had the opportunity here to get a major in 2023 on the board and reaffirm his last year's ranking. Cody, on the other hand, could tie Jmook for most major wins in 2023 so far and move himself that much further ahead of Zane to usurp his title. Unfortunately, if 2022 was any indication, Cody was close to an impossible matchup for AMSA. Cody held an almost perfect set record against the Dino in 2022, only dropping a set at Pound and Smash Summit 14, and he had most recently won their set at Genesis 9. This one was looking rough for the Japanese superstar, and it was. Cody would take set 1 with a 3-1 win and then looked completely locked in, shutting AMSA out with a 3-0 to win Battle of BC 5 from the loser's side. With this major win and Cody now tied with Jmook, competitive Melee was starting to get real interesting.
Oh, dude, trying to just up smash like the continuous eggs off.
Down smash?
Okay, yeah, he goes right into down smash.
AMSA's got 1 ticket back in this.
1 chance here, Toph. Goes, okay, doesn't get the up air.
And up tilt is enough! Cody from losers! Taking out Zane in the run back!
In 2 sets.
And he's got to take 2 sets off AMSA.
The 3-0 as well in the 2nd set. Oh my goodness.
And then shoutouts to all of you watching, if you're still made it to this point of me rambling, because Melee wouldn't be what it is without you. And we need you, we love you, we appreciate you. No matter how mad some of us, myself included, might get on Twitter or Twitch, we do love you and appreciate all of you.
And with this, Melee found itself in a peculiar place. Halfway into the year, and all major victories so far had been split down the middle between the 2 New Yorkers, Jmook and Cody Schwab. Zayn, marked the best player of 2022, still had yet to take one, and some doubt began to creep in on if he would be able to maintain his title as the world's best. On June 3rd and 4th in Marietta, Georgia, the return of the Tipped Off series offered Zayn a chance to flip that script. Aptly named Tipped Off 14 Resurgence, the Tipped Off series had been playing host to many eras of competitive Melee, beginning all the way back in 2007. This 14th installment would be the largest event in the series by entrant count at 343, with Tipped Off 11, which was won by Drug Fox, not far behind at 336. Seated first off the back of the Battle of BC5 win was of course Cody Schwab, and of course right behind him was Jmook. But whether this surprises you or not, due to Zayn's performance so far, Seed 3 instead went to AMSA. Zayn came in at 4th seed and knocked Moki down by 1, and Mango moved up a decent bit into the 6th seed, and he'd also serve as the main broadcast for this tournament. Cody and Jmook took their second consecutive doubles bracket, still leaving some with question marks on when HBox Plup would be making a return. With the silver medal, we saw AMSA and Axe once again put up a challenge in the format. In singles, Tipped Off 14 was a breakout event for Moff, who, minus Slug, is in consideration as one of the best Ice Climbers players in the world. In addition to this being Moff's breakout run, she was also a part in creating a hard turn in the narrative of Melee in 2023. In Winners Round 1, Moff beat Jmook 3-0. This win alone was for sure a career-high achievement, but after that she would win against old veteran Hacks Money 3-1 for a pair of very, very good upsets. Moff would finish at 9th, but what happened here would create a ripple effect across the entire bracket. And unfortunately, someone at Tipped Off had stolen a number of USBs containing replays of the sets played at this event, so a number of sets from here, including Moff versus Jmook, are potentially lost.
Like, and it's true, but I think it's like frame perfect. I think it's, for some reason, I think it's like really hard. I don't quite remember. My Ice Climber knowledge is not really up to date. Oh, there's a forward throw again. There we go.
Oh, and the re-grab. This is looking at like
That's
it. Yeah.
GG.
Yeah.
Moff continuing her run.
Jmook, after falling to Moff, went on a bit of a loser's run over Simmons, Vu, Joshman, and SFOP without dropping a single game, but would be eliminated from the bracket by, once again, AMSA. Something was going to have to change if Jmook wanted to stay in the running for number 1. With this loss, Jmook marked his lowest major performance since his breakout year in 2022, a 9th place, tying with the player who upset him. Now at this point you might be asking, how did AMSA end up in losers? Well, that was thanks to Mango, playing in what I think is easily the best set of this entire tournament. AMSA and Mango's relationship going into 2023 was a bit tenuous. Probably the most contentious point in determining the 2022 rankings was between AMSA and Mango for the number 2 spot.
We've been talking. This man is pissed about ranking. He's pissed about
Yeah, we need a Mango systems. We need it.
We really need?
Yes.
It was a fairly close argument for either player, but this did spark a bit of a debate when AMSA took rank 2, with some believing that Mango should have held that spot. As a sort of act of rebellion against the rankings, Mango took some of this year easy, as indicated by his Dr. Mario at Genesis and Marth at Battle of BC, and he also played these characters plus Captain Falcon plus his mains here for what it's worth. Although Mango had moved up a few spots on his initial seeding at Tipped Off, he was still projected to be eliminated around Losers Round 4. Even looking at the head-to-head between these two players, AMSA appeared to have Mango figured out, with wins at the Big House 10, Ludwig Smash Invitational, and Scuff World Tour out of the 5 sets they played in 2022. This set looked like it would continue AMSA on his path forward towards potentially his first major win of 2023, as he went up 2-0 in the set. Mango hit a crazy stock to stay alive in Game 3, then decides to switch to his Fox in Game 4 to win that one too. And at the end of it all, Mango turns on the Jets and pulls a 3rd win out of the mud to complete one of the most beautiful reverse sweeps of the year.
He immediately excavated.
Tight down.
Last stock here.
Tight down.
Up airs, up airs. Does he have a jump? No, has to come out down with a down air. Does get down, but Mango, I'll smash. He's done it! He's done it!
Mango followed this win up with another Game 5 barn burner against Aklo, then beat Moki in Losers Finals to make a mini classic Losers run to Grands. Oh, also, one of Mango's pool opponents was a Pichu player by the name of Waffle House, who drew some attention on social media by literally eating Waffle House during their set.
Oh, bye-bye, Waffle House. Oh, he's eating his Waffle House! This guy's so
my
feed.
God, he came prepared. I think
Don't hurt him, Mango. He's hungry.
Kadoran went on a monstrous run to 7th place. First beating Panda, then matching into Axe, quite possibly one of his worst draws, and for a reason that isn't really even Kadoran's fault. Over Melee's competitive lifespan, Axe had built up a reputation as something of a boogeyman to all Marth players. Up until Shine 2022, where Zayn ended up breaking Axe's streak, largely in part due to literally booking a flight for one of his friends who mained Pikachu, Axe had not lost to a Marth player since 2013. Yes, almost 10 years. Kodorin would come remarkably close to matching Zayn's valor here, pushing Axe all the way to Game 5, but it just wouldn't be in the cards on that day, as Axe would narrowly take the set on his last stock. After a win on JJM, Kodorin matched into Cody Schwab, fresh off his Battle of BC5 win. And similar to Axe, Cody was beginning to build up a reputation of being a destroyer of Marth players as well, given how frequently he had high-profile sets against Zayn. But in quite possibly the biggest upset of Tipped Off, Kodorin would win 3-0 over Cody. And of course, like the Moth Jmook set, we have some lovely Thief to thank for not being able to see how that played out. Now, you would think as one of the biggest upsets of the tournament that Cody must have fallen to losers due to another Nailbiter set versus Zayn or Jmook, but you'd be sadly mistaken. Cody was actually upset again right before Kodorin by Polish, a Pennsylvania Peach player who ended 2022 as ranked 23. Polish had rather solid results in 2023 with a 17th at Genesis and 13th at Major Upset, but Tipped Off was easily their best result at a major in the year. After Cody, Polish beat Axe and then took a game off of Zayn and a game off of AMSA to exit at 5th.
Yes, homie, spirit successor. Spirit successor, for sure. Yeah, my heir. Okay, this is just a tap-it-in moment for Polish.
This is over.
That's gotta be it. Wow. Polish cleans it up.
Run beats Cody and Axe.
With the Battle of BC5 Champions run cut short at 13th, the floodgates were truly opened. The only major tournament winners of 2023 so far were nowhere to be found, meaning a new player would etch their name into the winners list at Tipped Off. Would it be Moki, the Canadian phenom who had made an incredible run at Genesis to 3rd place? No, but Moki would match his Genesis run here with a bronze medal. What about AMSA? Guess again. AMSA, after losing the reverse sweep to Mango, lost to Moki for 4th. No, Tipped Off 14 was about to be decided by one of the most intense rivalries from 2021 between the two players who were vying for best in the world during that time, Mango and Zayn. Now, the relationship between these two players is the stuff of legends. Perhaps one of the most storied rivalries in the new age of Melee, Mango represented an old guard of the game, taking rank 1 in 2009, 2013, and 2014, while Zayn was the new kid on the block, sitting on the throne in 2022. That rivalry, while beginning to come to a head at the top of the decade, was given a bit of an asterisk though, because when Zayn truly felt he was at his peak around 2020, a global pandemic came around to stop competitive Melee's momentum in its tracks. After that debacle between Mango and AMSA for rank 2 in 2022, it really didn't seem like Mango's heart was in it. So to see a more vintage Mango make a return in such a big way was a treat for fans of the game. Of course, seeing Zayn opposite him was the cherry on top. With everything going on in 2023, Cody and Jmook out of the bracket, it was only fitting that the other contender for best in the world sat in grand finals. Mango had some moments of brilliance, even striking first with the first game, but it wasn't enough. Mango's seemingly rejuvenated fire was met with an ice-cold mental out of Zayn. A 4-stock on Zayn's counterpick for Game 2, a swaggy finish for Game 3, and a dominating performance in the run back to Yoshi's for Game 4 spelled 3 unanswered games for Zayn and the title of Tipped Off 14 champion. This was Zayn's first major victory since the Ludwig Smash Invitational over 7 months prior, defeating Mango 3-1 in winners finals and in grands to take the tournament. Mango's second place here also marked his first top 8 appearance in 2023, defeating AMSA, Aklo, and Moki on his way to grand finals. So Zayn nabs his first major of the year, and the plot thickens in the narrative of the Big Three.
Will Zayn snuff the fire of the audience here?
Oh
my
a
God.
little short on the dashy. Things aren't going his way. A few more of those. Mango could bring it back.
Josh, tense moment.
A few more missed dashes.
Oh, this is a tech chase. Little by little. Few drops. Getting the neutral opening.
Oh,
Zayn is
too good. He's weaving out.
Oh.
Zayn takes it.
Zayn channels the shark.
Composure.
We were
hits. Gaming. Zayn is your tipped off champion.
Wow. It's been a minute since we've seen Zayn win a major here.
When I'm in the zone and I'm calm about things, I feel like no one can touch me. And that's genuinely how I feel.
Now with Zayn back on the board, the battle for rank 1 appeared to be a bit more open. The Ludwig Ågren Championship Series 5 happening the following month raised a new question though. In the absence of the Smash Summit Series, how would these competitors fare in an invitational styled event? The massive $50,001 prize pool certainly helped to raise the stakes as well, being far and away the biggest cash prize in a 2023 major, as well as the 9th largest prize pool of all time. But here, we would see a 16-player tournament gearing up to becoming one of the most stacked invitationals in Melee history. Unfortunately, Jmook ended up getting sick and would have to drop from LACS, opening the rank 1 conversation up to Cody, still tied with Jmook for major victories, Zayn looking to catch up, and anyone else in attendance who could possibly make a splash. As a replacement for Jmook, his FlyQuest teammate Kadoran announced he would be stepping in. In terms of format, a total of 12 players, Cody, Zane, Amsa, Moki, Mango, Hungrybox, Leffen, Axe, Salt, Triff, Joshman, and the aforementioned Kadoran replacing Jmook were invited straight into the tournament. The remaining 4 openings would be decided through a last chance qualifier, happening the day before, which saw 116 entrants in a more traditional open bracket format. Of that deep talent pool fighting for a spot in final bracket, the 4 qualifiers ended up being Swift, Spark, Magi, and Zamu. By the way, on the topic of Swift, he became the first player to make a top 8 at any Smash Major using a Prism. What the fuck is this?
Listen, we fucked up.
Okay, Swift would complete his weekend tying Amsa, who had the unfortunate bracket luck of facing Cody and Moki back-to-back for 7th place.
They're knocking out, they're not leading to anything, and it just creates this insane tense.
Scary percentage for Moki here too, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Starting to get there.
Yeah.
That is gonna do it. Oh my god, hard fought.
Yeah, Amsa's just way too high percent. It broke the armor, and then just Nair to kick him off stage.
One thing too, it's like, it sucks for Yoshi is that Fox, like, there was a kill where he got an up air and it was like, he was at like 155 and didn't die off the top. It's like, Fox is heavy, so it's...
Yeah, fast faller.
Yeah.
The gravity. It's, yeah, it's really tough when, you know, you look at Amsa and I feel like it really is just, you need to just kill that Fox.
I was thinking
you need to just end the combos with kills, and it's really hard.
We got another glimpse of the Doc Lee after Mango lost to Cody Schwab in winter semis, gracefully bowing out at 5th place after a 3-1 loss to Hungrybox. And the other 5th placer was, somewhat surprisingly, Moki, who ended up having to face Zane in losers following a very tight and surprising match in the winner side.
Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4. We are moguls. Hear us roar.
Oh.
Oh my god, he tried to reverse.
Oh!
Damn!
Tough one, damn. Tough one. He didn't look like, I feel like he wasn't playing to learn at the end.
You gotta play to learn. You gotta.
It's actually so true.
Oh my god.
And Zane's rolling up his control like, I learned so much.
Dude, I feel like I've grown. Like, because Melee's like, it's not just the game, it's me.
At Battle of BC4 last year, Leffen took a pretty big risk going off his main into a lab-tested Sheik, first shown at a Slippy Champions League show match in 2020 made specifically for Zane. This paid off to varied success for him, as for all of 2022, Leffen Sheik saw mixed results. It lost at Pound, took 2 sets off Zane at BC to win that tournament, and lost a Game 5 set at the Ludwig Smash Invitational. Even at Genesis 9 to start 2023, Leffen ate another slice of loser's pie with the Sheik.
Leffen wanted that forward so bad, but now it's Leffen in a weird spot.
Oh, amazing up air!
Oh,
down air!
does he get the down? He does!
Zane clutches!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Leffen, that was like a P-Tash moment. Leffen was like 1 frame away from
grabbing
landing.
ledge.
No, and also the runoff forward on the top platform when Zane didn't have the double jump, and that would have been it.
I'm not going to keep you long, man. What happened here? I think it was a little bit of a sloppy set with moments of a lot of greatness. Like, his edge guards were just insane. I was super glad I was able to keep composure after SDing like that, because I had complete control that last game and I just slipped, but I didn't give up. That up smash was by accident. Yeah.
6 months would pass until these two had another chance to play in bracket, and at LACS 5, Zane was the one who showed off a bit of his own tech he had been working on. No, not the Roy. An Ice Climbers counterpick self-titled Don't Test Us made specifically for Leffen Sheik counterpicking Zane's Marth on Final Destination. That's a mouthful. So, and I've talked about this a lot, the way competitive Melee works is the player who lost the most recent game gets to decide a counterpick stage, then that player locks in their character, and then the other player locks in theirs. Because competitive players often stick with a single character, we really never get to see this order of operations unfold in real time since they just pick a stage and fight. But here, for the first time ever, we got to see a Zane alternate that was designed for a specific purpose. And it paid off huge. Zane took the historically rough Sheik matchup into Ice Climbers and chain grabbed his way into a Game 3 win. Leffen would answer back with Game 4, and Zane would try the Ices once more on Pokemon Stadium, but fail here. All in all, this was a very entertaining set where both players swapped off their main characters, and a set that prompted a good bit of discussion about the implications of the character counterpicking metagame.
This is it.
This is a really easy edge guard.
You just hit him in the face, and that's it.
Well played the big left. My God.
Don't test us big. You know,
they got tested.
Yeah, they got tested.
They got tested.
Put him back in the oven.
I think for Zane, that's data.
Yes.
Because this is the junction. First of all, it's winners, right? Second of all, okay, we got it done on FD in a major way.
but we need to see how far we can go. How reliable is this pick?
After that win, we were gifted with Leffen versus Cody, which was arguably one of the best sets of the tournament. Leffen, being one of the most decorated solo Fox mains of all time, perhaps taking a small step back to learn some other fighting games, was up against the more contemporary top Fox Cody, a player who Leffen lost to a couple months prior. It was a Fox-only 5-game knockout on a rule set that now includes stage transformations on Pokemon Stadium, which traditionally favors older school players because they played on it more. And lo and behold, the transformation actually ended up being the deciding factor to give Leffen a seat in Grand Finals.
This is great for him, though.
I don't even know what I'm remembering, but I remember. Oh my god.
Being on the left side's better. You can bounce off the tree and tech.
You can tech it. Nair doesn't send.
Oh, no, it's too high.
Yeah, go be safe. Go be safe. Oh, he plays the game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's it.
What? It doesn't kill you to charge it.
Oh my god. Oh, shit. Watch it. Woo. Oh, and it was way more stressful to watch because there's an audio desync.
Yeah.
So I hear the up smash and I see it. I'm like, does it kill?
Yeah.
Because Star KO's a little quieter. Wow.
Woo.
Damn.
That she's saved by the transformation.
No, that transformation's really good if you're behind. That's a really good transformation.
And also the balls to like be aware of that and then go back in after getting knocked out.
The question of if Cody could pull ahead in the race for rank 1 was answered here, as Zayn would deliver a 1-2 punch following both players' losses to Leffen, which took the top New Yorker out at 3rd place. This in turn set up a rematch between Leffen and Zayn, where Zayn actually did not opt for the Ice Climbers in this set. This one also went to 5, and Leffen would end up taking the set, the tournament, and the biggest prize pool of 2023, coming in at $50,001.
Big grab here. Yeah, it's too scary on the platform to do anything.
Oh, no.
He needed
Jumps
that one.
out.
He needed that one bad.
Oh. Yeah. Leffen won that scramble so good.
Yeah, a bit of a panic Nair too, I think.
Agreed. Maybe there's something.
Ooh, he came all the way down to the platform, held down, and that's it! Leffen takes it, LACS 5!
Wow.
And if that wasn't enough for a productive summer, just a month later, Leffen would show off his pedigree in a completely different game, Guilty Gear Strive, and win their bracket at EVO 2023.
Yes, the guts are going to keep him alive, but this is it, Nubenheimer. Whatever you got to bring it out right now. Curse. Okay! Ooh. We are seeing Beyblade in, but no, wake up 5P check from Leffen. He is undefeated, your EVO 2023 champion.
He did it. He did it 100%. This is 2 different EVO titles in 2 different fighting games. Like we talk about rarefied air. You're joining the Tokidos, the Justin Wongs of the world, the GOATs of fighting games. Leffen putting his claim on that title.
But in the context of Melee, things had now gotten a little bit weird. That idea of a big 3 in Jmook, Cody, and Zayn now had to introduce a 4th into their ranks, and what would that mean as we entered the back half of 2023?
I want to prove that I can like keep it up. I think I won a lot of game 5s, and this was maybe the most clutch win I've had in a long time. But I came in as an underdog for this tournament, and as good as it is, I've won a bunch of underdog tournaments. I want to win some tournaments where I'm the favorite.
Alright, look, we're like an hour into this. I think it's fair for me to ask that if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more from me, consider subscribing. You can always take it back if you end up not liking my stuff, but it would help me out a lot more than you may know. So, a month after LACS on July 14th, we returned to the open bracket format across the pond with Fate 3 by the Sea held in Rye, England. At 409 entrants for singles, this was technically considered to be the first major Melee tournament held in the United Kingdom by Smash Wiki definitions, and the first major level event held in Europe since DreamHack Winter 2016. Also, no one actually knows how to pronounce this tournament name, so I'm just gonna call it Fate from here on out. The prior 2 installments of the Fate series brought in respectable numbers, but not as much talent on the top end, with Amsa being the highest ranked player and winner of Fate 2. This year was quite different though. Amsa would return as the first seed in front of Zayn, Jmook, HFox, and Aklo, and we had the rare threat of having multiple top Peach players in attendance with Polish and Triff. Unfortunately, B-Bats would have been the 3rd top Peach attending Fate, but he had some passport issues that prevented him from making the trip. And rounding out the 8th seed of Fate was the venerable Joshman, coming off a 9th place finish at LACS 5. Further down, we had some non-North American mainstays like Pipsqueak, Professor Pro, Frenzy, Abe, Kinzo, Ja Raiden, and Max, just to name a few. Doubles wasn't insanely stacked, with Polish and Pipsqueak taking that bracket, but a very important mention here was in who ended up at 3rd place, a pair of mysterious sisters from France named I4 and Fekfek. There's not too much more to say about them for 2023, but trust me, if you're a doubles fan, you'll want to keep a lookout into 2024.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But you kids are gonna love it.
Fate had a round-robin format for pools where almost everything went according to plan, with each top seed going pretty much undefeated through the first 2 rounds. Even in the singles bracket, everything was looking par for the course until a 3-2 win from Jmook threw Zayn into the losers bracket, presenting a bit of an interesting conundrum for Zayn. Up until this point, Zayn had never won an offline tournament from the loser's side. Now, take that as you may, yeah, he was winning a lot from winners, but it did leave fans with the question of if he was able to clutch up when it mattered the most. In the meantime, some close sets were going down between international competitors in the losers bracket. Ja Ride and Frenzy, Fat Tina Professor Pro, and Triff Pipsqueak all went to Game 5 in exciting matches. While on the other side of losers round 7, a 3-0 of Aklo versus his brother Foxy Grandpa was happening, leaving Foxy at 9th place. Another fun one to point out was the Donkey Kong main Risk, number 6 on the Netherlands 2023 Power Rankings, who went on a pretty impressive run, including wins on GA West, Mahi, and Fek to name a few. And while on the topic of Donkey Kongs, because they were a pretty rare sight coming up into this year, Denmark's Mo also had a great showing here, upsetting Frenzy 3-0 and taking Aklo all the way to Game 5, ultimately exiting Fate 3 at 17th place following a loss to Sharp's Peach.
Back air. Grab the ledge. Big foot. Oh, he just gets it.
There it is.
Let's go. We have a game 5. Welcome to the jungle, Aklo. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Let's go.
God. I would not have seen this coming. Mo bring Aklo to game 5. Oh, I'm so here for it. Let's go, Mo.
Oh, yeah, well, let's go, Mo.
The crowd is filled up at the time that this game has been set to be happening.
Look at this. Yeah, look at all of these people here.
After Triff defeated Pipsqueak in a narrow Game 5 win, the 2 top Peach players at Fate were forced into a bit of a team kill, where Triff would proceed 1 round further over Polish in a 3-1 victory. This would bring the Spaniard to AMSA, which ironically looked like the end of the line for AMSA. Peach was a rather difficult matchup for Yoshi, and lifetime AMSA had never beaten Triff in tournament. This set ended up being one of the more exciting ones of the entire event, where AMSA slowly but surely clawed his way back into the set, keeping it as close as possible in Game 5. Thanks to the tankiness of Yoshi and the huge size of Dreamland, he was able to live to 197 on his second to last stock to swing the momentum back in his favor, and that's all he would end up needing to close the door on this set and take his first ever win on this Peach Menace.
The down air doesn't interrupt the sheer super
And just like that, Triff is over 100. Now he's being edge guarded.
Oh, dash attack sends him off. He just drifts back to ledge. I'm just going to give that up.
Oh my God!
And then there, Amsa takes it, and he's got to be so relieved he's making it through the next round. Unfortunately, Triff falls.
Dude, you spend all night playing fundamental poker. All the right decisions, everything. Min-raising, everything. Doing the correct options. And then at the end of the night, they hit us straight on the river.
Now, the reason AMSA was even in losers to begin with was the product of that small rivalry I mentioned all the way back at Major Upset. Hungrybox ended up dominating the Yoshi with a 3-0 win here, now tying the 2023 set count at 2 apiece. And speaking of Hungrybox, he played in one of the most fun Salty Sweet matches in recent memory before Championship Sunday, his Nest versus Don't Test Me, aka Zane's Roy. Alongside them, a few other fun grudge matches went down: Exy versus Stony Maloney, Skullbro versus Madness, Abe versus Kingu, and Tony Bomboni versus Lunary, but this one was definitely the main event, especially when you consider their pregame antics.
For the last game, chug, 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 chug.
Zayn.
He's been tested. He's been tested.
Hungrybox! Hungrybox going for it. He's going to win the UK crowd over.
That's a
Is he going to finish it? Is he going to do it?
Oh my God.
A warrior.
Zane's trying to catch up now, but it might be too late. Let's go, Hungrybox.
Zayn has to do it. And he spikes it. Zayn's going for it.
One moment, please.
Will he finish it? I don't think
Guys,
this ain't going to be it.
He's losing his grip.
The losers run. The losers run. Let's go.
It went to a final Game 9 on Corneria, where Zayn found himself atop the front blasters, which would charge up and hand the final kill to H-Box on a silver platter, winning him the match 5-4.
Oh, he's got the tech. He's got the tech.
Doesn't that also blow up?
It does blow up. I don't think he knows.
Does he know?
Oh no! Hungrybox.
He didn't know. He didn't know. And Hungrybox takes it.
Right, hang on. I'm going to talk to him.
The saltiest. Oh, saltiest sweet. And they hug it out.
Honestly, can I say this really quick? That was the most fun I had playing Melee in years. And let's be honest, we agreed it was a best of 5, and then he won, and they said let's run it back, and then he homie stalked. I think Zane's as much of a champion tonight as I am, for sure.
I promise you, Zane's hating all of this.
Yeah, he wants to
Here,
get out
I'll
of
give you the
bounds.
mic.
Okay, back to the main bracket. Remaining in this tournament's top 4 were the as-expected top 4 seeds, but in a less than expected order. The 3rd and 4th seeds Jmook and HBox were facing off in winners finals, while the 1st seed Amsa and 2nd seed Zane duked it out in losers. Jmook ended up advancing to Grands with an excellent 3-1 win here, his first one of the year and his first win over HBox since Shine 2022, while Zane would eliminate Amsa at 4th, also Zane's first win over Amsa in 2023, and his first one since Battle of BC4 in 2022. From there, Zane would quickly dispatch Hungrybox from the tournament with a 3-0, leaving HBox at 3rd place. And before I even get into the grand finals match, I need to add kind of a funny bit of flavor. HBox ended up actually placing higher in Ultimate Singles with the 2nd place than he did in Melee. So, yeah. Anyway, this left Zane and Jmook as the last 2 standing, an opportunity for Jmook to bring his major victory count to 3, as well as one for Zane to even the scales and regain some of the ground he had lost earlier in the year. If you were looking at this match based on recent results, you'd probably think it was going all Jmook. Zane's last win over Jmook was at the Big House 10 at the end of 2022, but Jmook took dubs over Zane at his 2 major victories of 2023 at Genesis 9 and Collision, as well as a winner's bracket win at this very tournament. All told though, the end of this tournament was a little sad. While everyone was expecting another war between 2 of the best to ever do it, as the set raged on, something didn't look right with Jmook. His usual flawless tech skill seemed uncharacteristically off. At the start of Game 3, it became clear that Jmook's controller had malfunctioned. The 2 had waited it out for a brief moment before trying to play out Game 3, wherein Zane would reset the bracket and begin Set 2. But at the start of Set 2, Jmook's controller broke again. Many folks in the crowd jumped to action, offering up their controllers as a replacement to keep the momentum going, and Jmook ended up using Hungrybox's controller to keep Grand Finals alive. Unfortunately, it seemed like the damage was already done, and the controller didn't really change much. Zane would proceed on another 3-0 victory to take Fate 3 with a 6-0 sweep. Similarly to Jmook's Collision victory, many had wondered if and when Zane would win his first offline major from the loser's bracket, and although this one did end a bit anticlimactically, Zane got it here. Understandably, the situation was upsetting for Jmook, but regardless of controller issues, Zane beating Amsa 3-1, HBox 3-0, and Jmook 6-0 is a hell of a run. And perhaps more importantly, this now created a 3-way tie for major wins between our big 3, meaning the end-of-year rankings would need something big to change if we wanted to see a clear standout number 1.
The winner of Fate 3 by the sea again is Zane! And now we're gonna listen.
Much to say about the set, but hello. Can you hear? All right. I don't have much to say about the set, but here goes nothing.
We wouldn't have much breathing room after Fate's unfortunate conclusion, as just a weekend later we'd go to Toronto, Canada for the 8th installment of the Get On My Level tournament series. Beginning back in 2014, this Canadian series brought fans of the game a lot of fun memories, like Nun becoming the first Captain Falcon player to defeat Mewtwo King Sheik in a full set in over a decade back at GOML 2016. Of the 764 entrants for 2023, Zane took the top seed, followed by Cody Schwab, Jmook, and Moki. At 5th seed, we got Hungrybox, the GOML 2022 champion, then Mango, Amsa, and Kadoran rounding out the initially seeded top 8. Also fun to note, but GOML 2023 was sponsored by Nestle's Coffee Crisp, who Cody Schwab also represented as he continued to look for a full-time sponsor. Before we talk about any of this though, I really gotta give a shout out to this player, Lala, for entering her first tournament and giving us one of the most wholesome stream sets imaginable. I think as a community, this is the kind of stuff that we really love to see.
Granny straight up just mouthed, "Oh my effing god," I'm pretty sure.
Come on, Lala.
Come on, get one.
Come on,
get
Lala.
One.
Down smash.
Yes.
Okay, almost.
You know
Yoshi's
what?
so heavy, man.
Oh!
She's fine.
Everything's fine. Yes.
Yeah! Let's go, Lala! I'm gonna say this. I think Lala has a bright future ahead in Smash because
look at their posture right now and tell me what player you get reminded of.
Is insane.
Actually, mini James
You
posture.
just opened my third eye today.
right? Look at
Zayn,
the concentration. Look at the posture.
Zayn, this is the scout of the year. I can't believe you just pointed that out. Well said.
I'm just saying Lala has it, you know? She has it.
No, I think, you know, a lot of discussion has been had recently about pools matches, but having one like this where you have a universal hero, that's one of the best things you can ask for. Shout out to the replay team for getting that.
That's rad.
That's so sick. I mean, that might be the first stock Lala's taken at a Smash tournament. We don't know. Which would be, what a magical experience for that to be on stream at GOML. That'd be so cool.
Absolutely. My gosh.
In doubles, Axe and Amsa were finally able to get one over on Cody Schwab and Jmook coming from the winner's bracket, and they didn't even need any games of buffer to make it happen, taking this set in a rather dominating 3-0 fashion.
Anything works from blue side right now to get this one started. You just need that first hit. Cody spends the jump now, out of resources. That back air was
he threw his own
smart.
teammate! He threw his own teammate! Oh my gosh, the cheese, can he survive
back air
this?
over, yeah, it looks like this.
Oh!
One more kill!
No, he's alive.
From Axe is gonna do
my goodness!
And it is the pop-off from Axe and Amsa. They will be your winners of doubles, GOML 2023.
Oh my goodness. I thought Cody was gonna pull out his Coffee Crisp X Factor and pull something crazy there.
GOML also played host to an exciting USA versus the World crew battle, the second year in a row conducting a 10v10 matchup. Representing Team USA, we had Jmook, Cody, Zayn playing Roy, Aklo, Kadoran, Axe, S2J, Spark, Ben, and Lucky, while Team World had Moki, Amsa, Hungrybox, Joshman, Sunsei, Zuppy, Frenzy, The Swooper, Lunar Dusk, and Inky. Unlike last year though, which went down to the very last stock out of 40, this one was a bit of a blowout. Nearly everyone on Team USA pulled their weight, with Aklo taking the highest number of stocks at 6, leaving 8 fresh stocks from Ben and Jmook remaining against the world's last hope, Frenzy, with only 2. Frenzy wouldn't be able to make a scratch, unfortunately, and though most in the venue believed that this was already a wrap, Ben decided to rub some salt in the wound and literally kick the world while it was down, swapping to Zelda and wrapping up this crew battle with electricity.
You know what else is a fun little fact? 2 stocks is not enough to take this.
Oh, man.
But 1 is even less.
Oh, man. This stinks. GOML's over. Pack it up, guys.
Yeah, look. I don't have much to say. It's not good. It's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. Again, I'm gonna just say it. Juan should have taken a couple more stocks. We were rooting for you, Juan. What happened,
He
man?
should have,
Like,
yeah.
what happened? I've seen him do great things before. I've seen him look.
He been doing too much ultimate,
Yeah,
man.
what the heck? You know, he's been drinking from shoes on stream.
He's been drinking from too many shoes, man. Somehow we go back to feet right at the end. I'm glad it all goes full circle,
It's
man.
weird how it's full circle like that.
Oh,
Speaking of feet, we're about to see some
evil
toes. My
person.
God. My
No,
God.
I don't like that that's how that ended.
Damn.
It was over as hell. We knew that.
It's Ben over, okay? Ben, you look in the face of Ben and you think, is this the kind of guy that changes to Zelda last minute and kicks Frenzy in the face?
He's
No.
evil for that.
No.
I don't want that exclamation point on that lower third. Put a period at the end of that sentence. It's a statement. It's not an exclamation. We're not excited.
In the main bracket, things took a turn for the weird very quickly. This tournament marked Khalid's first international event, a San Diego Jigglypuff player who ended SSBM Rank 2022 at number 86. Earlier in the year, he took 17th at Genesis, 25th at Collision, 25th at Major Upset, and 33rd at LACS 5, but this run was an entirely different beast. At GOML, Khalid beat Ossify, Essie, S2J, Joshman, and Morse Code 762 to qualify for top 8, where he was ultimately eliminated by Amsa for 7th place. With this, Khalid became the 3rd unique Jigglypuff player to make a top 8 alongside the venerable Hungrybox since 2014, with the 2 other entrants being the aforementioned Toussaint at Genesis 9 and Soft all the way back at Apex 2014. Now, if you were paying attention, you may have noticed a peculiar name being stopped by Khalid just outside of top 8, and that's Morse Code 762. Morse Code is a Samus main from Michigan, considered one of the best Samus players in the Midwest, and very likely the current best Samus player in the world. He was the 44th best player in the world on MPGR 2019, and just barely made the cut at 99th the year prior. Also, just want to add, he was 6th in the world on PM Rank 2019, which kinda rocks, let's go PM. Anyway, he was in a very interesting position here where he rarely goes to anything, but when he does travel, he somehow pulls multiple rabbits out of multiple hats. Here was no different, where Jmook was notably upset remarkably early to Morse code, losing 0-3. After that, Jmook would meet another upset loss to Skurzo, exiting GOML at a surprising 33rd, his lowest placement in Melee singles since Super Smash Con 2017. With one of the only major tournament winners in 2023 out of GOML remarkably early and no Leffen in sight to shake things up, the door was blown wide open on who could take this one. Cody and Zain, of course, were still in the picture and could pull away in the major wins race. Hungrybox could make a run and repeat his GOML 2022 victory. What about Mango, Amsa, or even Moki? Well, we'd quickly have our questions answered, and it wouldn't be HBox or Cody. Cody had a close call with Amsa in the winner's bracket and would then be sent to losers by Mango, who was actually a bit of a bracket demon for Cody at the time, sporting a 7-1 set count in 2022. Cody would get a win back on him at their first 2023 meeting at LACS 5, but Mango would reassert his dominance with a 3-1 here.
Doesn't want to commit to a dash in too early. Needs to find Mango out of disadvantage, but he gets the ball rolling right there.
That is it. Mango moving on to winners finals, I believe.
Winners finals indeed. Mango still having Cody's number right there.
HBox also had a rough draw into Zain to fall into losers and would then get eliminated by the same Amsa sent to the elimination bracket by Cody. Both players would exit GOML at 5th place, leaving only Amsa, Moki, Mango, and Zain. And Amsa couldn't get there either, losing his next set to a surging Moki 3-2. As for Moki, on home turf, Canada flags flying at his back, he was legitimately on fire. It really looked like this was his tournament to take to finally win that coveted major he's been seeking all along. And on the list of players Moki would have liked to beat this year, Mango likely sat towards the very top. The former god of Melee was one of, if not the biggest thorn in Moki's side, as he sported an undefeated set record against the Canadian dating back to 2019. Mango, opting to do some dumb shit like go Doc at Genesis or Marth at Battle of BC, kind of lit a fire under Moki's ass too, with the thought that he may never get the chance to fight a Mango at full power ever again. Of course, he got the Falco at Tipped Off and LECS, and those were both 3-1s for Mango, but this loser side Moki was looking more and more like the unbeatable loser side Mango we've come to know and love. But Mango, in kind of a rare moment, played foil to Moki here, sweeping the proverbial leg right out from underneath Moki. This set was a banger, and it of course went to Game 5, but Mango just had too much plot armor on the day. But for what it's worth, Moki also hit some of the dopest combos of the entire event here, including the most disrespectful clip of 2023 against Kadoran.
Nice, good
Moki
downhill.
with the catch right there.
Not able to clean it up though. All right, up air.
Good weight, yeah, but Kadoran has just been having such a hard time figuring out how to land against Moki here. Nice shine. Yup.
What an edge guard.
You are, my God, you are not nice. Stop. What are you doing?
What is he doing?
Chill out.
What is he doing?
Stop, he's still gonna go.
What was that? What was that? What are we even watching?
What the? I need production to censor that clip. It needs to be blurred out here. What's going on? Moki, chill the fuck out.
One grab, you're back in it. One knockdown, you're back in it.
That is
right?
facts.
If you punish
Right
perfectly.
there. Here we go.
Okay.
I've also seen this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moki's so good with tech chases. Oh my God, that's
Moki
probably
said,
a stop with
Moki
the
said,
charge.
I've seen this movie and I paid for it in CAD, baby.
Yeah.
Off to the, oh my, oh, yo.
Moki thought he was playing on a stream for a second. This is tournament, Moki. This is get on my level.
With Moki out at 3rd, it all came down to the hottest rivalry of 2021 to determine a winner in Toronto. And honestly, we could talk all day about the Zain Mango tier and how these two were the clear consensus best players in 2021 and during the online era, how they've both been in some of the most memorable sets of all time like the Big House 9 and Smash Summit 11, but this kind of wasn't any of that. It was a blowout. Mango took the first game and got the crowd going, but from that point forward, it was Zain all the way. The final game showed some signs of life to possibly make it a Game 5 situation, but in classic Mango fashion, right as he begins to heat up, he dies in the most unceremonious way. That's the Mango, and that's GOML. Zain ended up winning in a rather commanding fashion, and when I say commanding, I mean it. That Game 1 loss in Grands was the only game Zain dropped in this entire tournament. With this win, GOML 2023 became the 4th major that Zain had won without ever going to a Game 5, alongside LACS 4, Pound 2022, and Tipped Off 14 just a couple months prior. Many players and commentators, myself included, believe that this victory all but clinched the top spot on SSBM Ranked Summer 2023. Zayn, having played from behind Cody and Jmook earlier in the year, now took the lead in what felt like one fell swoop. And we fortunately wouldn't have to wait long to find out if he did seal that #1 ranking for the summer, as the full list was set to be revealed at our next tournament just a few weeks later.
Mango with one opportunity. Zayn not trying to have it. Forward smash at 142. Mango going low.
Oh, that was godlike.
The Canadian Clown.
That was so good.
From there at 163.
wow.
Down tilt sets the wrong way. Mango's got an opening. What's it gonna be? Mango got the knockdown. Shine out of shields.
The Mango plot armor hit different.
Way.
The Mango plot armor hit different, Toph.
I swear. Bear. Oh my.
Oh no!
Mango with that face like, God damn it.
The week right after GOML, we would get a smaller event in Smash Factor 10, then EVO 2023, where the aforementioned Leffen would make his return in a big way. But Melee fans had their sights set on Super Smash Con 2023, happening the week after EVO, largely in part due to SSBM Ranked Summer 2023 being released on that weekend. Here we would finally have our questions answered. Did Zayn clinch that #1 rank? Where do Cody, Jmook, and Leffen stand, the other players who have won majors in 2023? And what about the rest of the field? All of these questions would be answered as over half of the newly minted top 50 would make their way out to Chantilly, Virginia for an absolutely massive multi-Smash game event, as well as the first offline major of the new ranking season. And massive may be a bit of an understatement, honestly. For Melee, 860 entrants entered the fray for this long weekend, putting Super Smash Con above GOML as the second biggest tournament of the year behind Genesis. So let's start with the elephant in the room, SSBM Ranked Summer 2023. That burning question on the community's mind was finally answered, and yes, Zayn had sealed rank 1 with his GOML win, and it was much deserved. Right behind him sat, of course, the other major tournament winners in 2023, Cody, Jmook, and Leffen in that order, and then possibly the most exciting entry into the top 5, Moki, becoming the first Canadian player to ever be ranked within top 5. Kirby Kaze had made top 10 at rank 9 on the very first iteration of SSBM rank all the way back in 2013, but Moki showing at 5th here was the next time a Canadian would make it into this upper echelon of the game. After Moki, Mango would exact a little revenge by outplacing Amsa's 7th ranking at 6th, and then the rest of the top 10 would be rounded out by Hungrybox, Plup, and Kadoran. Now, if you were paying attention, another interesting piece of history to be had here was that the last 2 active members of the 5 gods, Mango and Hungrybox, were ranked 6th and 8th. This ranking period marked the first time in Melee's competitive history where none of the 5 gods were ranked within the top 5, a true passing of the torch moment to some of the new generation of the game. Of course, we did bear witness to a classic Mango HBox Grand Finals at last year's SmashCon, so with the new generation of Melee's Elite at the forefront of the game, let's see if the same was able to unfold here. Before we made it to Championship Sunday though, we did get to enjoy some of the pleasantries of the SmashCon series, like the Smash 64 combo contest, featuring some of the wildest and most creative sequences we've seen yet.
Okay, so this is it. So it misses!
It missed!
And then
He's running down! He's looking at it!
Yes! It hits! And he ran down! I missed the run! I missed him run down! He ran down again?
Yes!
And they give him the trophy. Well deserved.
The Smashies and the DK vs. Ganon crew battle for $5,000.
Danger percent for the Ganons.
Yeah.
Especially with Giant Punch on the
It's
table
a
now.
punch!
It's a punch!
And DK wins the crew battle!
We also have to talk about OG Kid, who channeled the content gods in some of the most insane mid-game pop-offs I've ever seen.
He just goes for rests.
Yeah.
Because even if you miss, wow! What a down.
Yo! What? He's crazy! He just took a selfie. He just default danced on sushi. What is it? Do it again!
This is the future of Melee.
Of the newly minted top 10, all of them but Jmook, Leffen, and Plup were in attendance, and the top end also featured players like Aklo at rank 11, Lot at rank 12, Zuppy at rank 15, and Axe at rank 17, among many others. Given that sheer volume of competitors at this tournament, you would think that there'd be a handful of upsets to shake up the bracket and really make things weird, but almost everything went according to projections. The top 8 of this tournament actually very accurately reflected the top 8 ranked players among those who were in attendance, but with one major exception: Zuppy. Blake Zuppy Burnham is a Fox main from Ontario, Canada, who entered SSBM Rank 2023 as the second highest ranking Canadian player behind Moki. In his debut ranking year, he landed at number 41 on Summer 2022, and he was always known for having rather solid placements in his career, including a career-high 4th at Collision 2023 earlier this year. SmashCon flipped the script in a major way though, with Zuppy taking what was supposed to be Kadoran's spot in top 8, beating Morse Code, Dreffin, Dawson, and Kadoran before finally being stopped by Hungrybox for 7th place.
Oh, this is tense.
Oh, still he has both. Yep, he got the side B back, and good tag.
Good tag.
Oh, he didn't get the
Oh,
jump
Packers
tag, and so
after.
Zuppy makes top 8.
Wow.
Beating Kadoran on FD twice.
That's big.
And as for Hungrybox, after receiving his lowest ever ranking, SmashCon was actually one of his best performances of 2023. He was first sent to losers by Moki, showing his medal as a now top 5 player, but after that, HBox beat Lod, Zuppy, Mangoes, Doc, Moki in the runback, and Cody Schwab to make it all the way back to Grand Finals. That set against Cody in particular was an unbelievable achievement for him, as that was the first time he had beaten Cody offline this year, with his last offline victory coming from the famous reverse pop-off at GOML 2022 over a year before that. What's also wild about this set is Hungrybox tries to go back to Battlefield in Game 5 where he had already won, and this is actually against the current Melee rule set noted as Dave's stupid rule, where a player can't go back to a stage they previously won on.
I think Hungrybox was trying to go back to Fountain. Or no, he's trying to go to Battlefield, but Cody was like, nah, bro, you won there.
Cody objecting to the run back here actually works out for Hungrybox though, since he wins the set off the back of an FOD counter pick.
I'm not counting Cody out yet.
I'm not counting him out yet either. Here we go.
Mr. Schwab has done these before, but wait a minute.
Oh, okay,
it might
okay,
be go
okay.
season, Walt.
H-Box season.
Right?
The weak hit airs. Tough position.
Oh my.
That height of the platform is so low.
Oh.
H-Box gets out. Forward smash, one more for the
again.
road.
And Hungrybox
Cody
takes the set.
out of the tournament. Hungrybox, take another seat, my guy.
Yep.
But pop off a little bit first, because you earned it.
I know, yep. Shout out to Hungrybox. Well played, my friend. And I know you want to stand, but get comfortable, man. You got some more Melee left to play, my guy.
Cody was eliminated at 3rd place by Hungrybox, but was sent to losers thanks to Zayn, on a hot streak since being ranked 1st for the 3rd ranking period in a row, as well as playing in his home region. On his path, Zayn beat Kevin Maple, Zamu, Kadoran, and Moki before dispatching Cody, only dropping 3 total games in the process.
No! That's tough.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Mark beats Fox! Mark beats Fox! I don't believe it!
Oh wait! Oh!
Zayn,
Zayn.
he waits, lands on top platform, one more!
My goodness!
Zayn said no Game 5 today!
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to Grand Finals. Look at the scream into the crowd, Brandon!
Man! What a turnaround!
And of his options for a match in Grands between Cody and HBox, I think most would say Zayn would much rather have HBox, given his undefeated set count against him through this entire year versus his only slightly favored 2023 set count against Cody up until this point. And truthfully, Zayn drawing HBox almost seemed like a freebie for Zayn, with all of those set wins stacking against the former god, and on top of it all, the only time HBox was able to take a single game against Zayn in 2023 was at LACS 5, which went to Game 5. Every other match in this year was a 3-0 for Zayn. But something seemed different here though. HBox seemed very willing to play the slow game. Yeah, he got a shield popped in Game 1, but he took the first game, then the second, and it felt like something was in the air. The most catastrophic pop-off the world had ever seen was just one singular game away from occurring. Zayn would answer back with one on Yoshi's story, then another on Hungrybox's unorthodox Game 4 counterpick, until finally Dreamland 64 was upon us. After a bit of icing out from HBox, a slow, drawn-out war of attrition brought us to last stock Game 5 with just over a minute remaining on the clock. With a timeout potentially imminent and Zayn running away in the percent lead, Hungrybox would need to find a miracle. And with 27 seconds left, it looked like he found one. A missed waveland on the side platform from Zayn gave Hungrybox the opening he needed to risk it all on one final rest. He finds a very risky and subtly impressive confirm with an empty hop up tilt, which I do break down in this video by the way, and it looks like we're gonna go to a set 2. But almost tragically, this rest misses by a single frame.
It's a star KO, Brandon. We're both standing up now. Yo, crowd, stand up with us. Stand up. Your feet. Everybody on your feet. Since last stop.
We said it
Oh
before.
my goodness.
A few seconds get expired on the clock right now because Zayn comes off the Angel platform. 1 minute
Oh my
remaining.
goodness. Oh. Well, I'm losing my mind right now. I'm losing my mind. We both are on our feet, y'all. I highly recommend y'all get on y'all feet as well.
60 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Zane with the percent lead, but anything can kill.
Wait. Pivot temper.
Here comes Zane now.
No.
Not gonna happen just yet. You pound it again.
Okay. Yo, Hungrybox
can't find his way in.
He's taking his time with it.
We're hitting the point where it's rest or bust.
Yes, the point in overturn, yeah.
Oh. This might be curtains out, Brandon.
We in shot clock territory, Walt.
Here we go. Okay,
he's got to rest.
No
he
press.
has to rest.
Zane knows now he has the lead. 30 seconds left on this last game. Here we go. HBox can find a way in. There it is. The last 10 minutes. It's over. Zane says, I am #1 in the world for a reason, and we'll take this one home. Super Smash Con 2023, Brandon. I can't believe it.
Let's go. Zane winning at the crib. The big dog winning in the doghouse.
It was one last attempt from HBox. He looked like he almost had it off of the missed air dodge from Zane, but Zane said, not at home.
Not at home.
It's not gonna happen.
Super Smash Con marked the third major tournament victory in a row for Zane, following Fate 3 by the Sea and Get On My Level 2023, and it was also his first time winning in his home region of MDVA, as Brandon aptly points out with the big dog winning in the doghouse. And Zane was for sure the big dog at this moment. Now with 4 major wins under his belt, it really did look like he had firmly pulled away in the race for rank 1 at the end of the year. To have that reaffirmed in the summer rankings meant that anyone who wanted to challenge him would have their work cut out for them in the last quarter of the year.
I said this in our
yeah, I know.
In the GOML
No one
interview.
will know though because we lost it.
We lost it, but genuinely, those two guys. I met Charlie pretty recently. Just down to earth people, and I'm proud to represent them. I think they're really cool.
Baby, let's go.
And shout outs all my friends who came here from Virginia Tech, from MDVA, my sister, everyone who's watching, my girlfriend Caitlin watching back home. Thank you so much. It really means the world to me.
Let's go, baby.
It's earned, man.
Zane.
It's earned and deserved.
Thank
We
you.
love you. Congrats on winning Super Smash Con 2023.
Thanks.
Enjoy it, man.
Yep.
Peace
And
out,
cheers
guys.
to many more, man. Much love, man.
Sure.
SmashCon 2023.
Hey.
Let's go.
Just 2 weeks would pass before we traveled up the East Coast to Worcester, Massachusetts for Shine 2023. The Shine Series began in 2016 over in Boston and would move to Worcester in 2019, where it would serve as New England's premier event to conclude the summer of Smash. From the S2J chair race to SFAT's absurd FD counterpick against Mewtwo King, the Shine Series gave us a ton of incredible memories to look back on. But despite its many successes, the Shine tournaments, like many events, were often run on a deficit. These strenuous economic circumstances would lead to the decision to end the series after the conclusion of Shine 2023, making this the last dance celebrating 7 years of Smash in the Northeast. The Melee community certainly wouldn't take this bittersweet ending for granted though, as at 683 entrants for Melee, this final hurrah was the biggest Shine since 2018 and the largest event ever held at the Worcester venue. What seemed like the strongest active doubles team of Cody and Jmook fell at a surprising 5th place, being eliminated 3-0 by Panda Crudo. This looked like it would open the door for Axe and AMSA, considered the next best team, to clean up, but they wouldn't win either. They did make it to Grand Finals, but it was through the loser side, being defeated by Polish and Swedish Delight, who went on to win the entire bracket.
Up there? Pour it up. Up smash. Up smash.
Oh, no.
Charged up smash gets there.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh my God.
It's easy. Polish and
Swedish 3-0. 3-0.
They take the tournament from winner's side.
In singles, at first seed, we of course had Zane, riding the momentum of his SmashCon win, as well as now becoming the leader in number of major victories. Right behind him was of course Cody, but taking the spot of the last Big 3 member at seed 3 was now Moki. Jmook had dropped down to 4th as a result of a couple poor performances, and the remaining projections went to your usual suspects at this point: AMSA, Mango, Kadoran, and Aklo. However, the projected bracket was almost immediately thrown into chaos because Mango missed his flight and was unable to make it into the bracket. With Mango DQ'd and Hungrybox the only other active member of the 5 gods not present here, the final Shine marked the first major wherein none of the 5 gods were in attendance since MLG New York 2005 in February of 2006, over 17 years prior. This made for a pretty interesting narrative. Yeah, like I said before, this was the first time where the remaining 5 gods weren't ranked within the top 5, but with neither Mango nor HBox actually competing here, this really allowed the new generation of talent to show their stuff. But perhaps ironically, one of the players showing up big here was the older school Pikachu legend, Axe, making his best run at a major all year. Axe was in a really interesting place going into the 2020s. On June 16, 2019, he made history, becoming the first ever Pikachu player to win a major at Smash Summit 8, and that year also included close second place finishes at Genesis 6 and GOML 2019. It really was looking like Axe's year to, pun intended, shine, but the global pandemic in 2020 shut everything down and forced competitors to play online, where Axe admittedly struggled. This seemed to stifle a lot of the momentum the Pikachu had been building up over his tenured career, and his ranking dropped from as high as number 3 on MPGR 2019 Summer to number 17 come the most recent ranking. 2023 looked like a rebuilding year for Axe, slowly but surely regaining confidence and finding his footing among a sea of new talent. And at this last shine, he really did prove his pedigree. Axe was first upset by Chem in pools, forcing him into a quite frankly brutal bracket path through losers. There he beat Paladin, Nun, Polish, Magi, Zamu, and Kadoran before finally falling to AMSA, completing a 6-set win streak to end his shine run at 5th place. And much like Moki's combo at GOML, Kadoran once again ended up on the receiving end of one of the coolest clips of the tournament by falling victim to a quad thunder combo by the hands of Axe's Pikachu.
But Axe has been so fast.
Okay, now there
and
he is.
all of these punishes have been so
Why not
consistent.
three? Okay.
Wow,
And it keeps
that's
going
three.
right.
He did a 4 thunder combo.
That is unprecedented.
Strike me down, Zeus. Is that true?
At this point, one of the players with the most to prove here was Jmook. With him not in attendance at SmashCon and having faced a career low placement at GOML, many wondered if this would be the beginning of him dropping back to earth after such a meteoric rise to the top. He breezed through his pool but met the unique roadblock that was AMSA in top 48, forcing him to fight his way through the losers bracket. There, he would beat Crudo to qualify for top 8 but would be eliminated from the tournament by Aklo in his first ever offline win against the Sheik. 7th place certainly wasn't bad by any means, but it still left people wondering if Jmook was starting to run out of gas given how explosive his start of 2023 was.
Out of the mid stun. 81% here. Has to jump out.
It's over. Jmook does the actual instant double jump, and Aklo takes it game 5. Dude.
I've never seen this man so much as a mode on stage, but that was a proper pop-off, I think, for him.
As for Aklo, the New Yorker would go on the best run of his career over in the Northeast. After taking Jmook out of the equation, he would 3-0 SGJ for 5th place, yet another unique Jigglypuff to make a top 8 in 2023, then face off against AMSA, who was sent to losers by Zane. This really did look like the end of the line for Aklo, having not bested the Dino ever dating all the way back to 2021. He came close twice this year at the Come Up in GOML, where both went to Game 5, but it didn't seem great for the King of New York. And it went from bad to worse when AMSA quickly went up 2-0 in the set, forcing a reverse 3-0 in order for Aklo to stay alive. With each game going to last stock, this set was hard fought to say the least, and in Game 5, by the grace of the gods, things just seemed to align for Aklo. First, AMSA SDs because Randall comes around and messes up his ledge regrab. Then he misses a down smash that could have become an equalizer due to the slant on Yoshi's story. And to put a cherry on top, a Shy Guy enters the frame to block an errant egg from AMSA that also could have led to a kill, allowing Aklo to return safely. The game just did not want AMSA to win, and Aklo capitalized when it mattered the most, completing the reverse sweep and advancing on to a guaranteed 3rd place.
And the eggs are reflecting the eggs now.
Okay,
now
we're slowed it down.
Oh my God! Trap! He gets hit with the trap! Wait! Where are we going? It's over! The King of New York!
With the pop-off.
1-7 now.
Oh my goodness.
Aklo's on the board.
That was a hell of a set.
This miraculous victory from Aklo would be pretty short-lived though, as Zane would swoop in from losers to shut the King of New York down in a 3-0 to make it back to his nemesis, Cody Schwab, for Grand Finals. But hey, we got to see the guy who got 3rd place at this tournament play Link of all characters, so that's kinda cool. Aklo's run to 3rd, including wins over Wevins, Jmook, SDJ, and most notably AMSA, marked his best tournament run since his victory at Redemption Rumble. So, back to business. It was a welcome sight to have a Zane-Cody Grand Finals, as these two players had consistently brought out the best in each other, giving fans some of the most entertaining matches in this year. Their winner side set was a 3-0 blowout from Cody, who looked practically untouchable this weekend, surprisingly only dropping games to Spark and Kadoran on his march to Grands. But upon Zane's return for the run back, he would flip the script very quickly, 3-0ing Cody right back to reset the bracket in the blink of an eye. That first set looked more like a call and response to their winner's side match, and set 2 would be where the real melee would begin. In a back and forth barn burner of a set, both would elevate the other, stocks would fall, and it would of course go down to the wire. As Cody flies off the top of a star KO to bring both competitors to their final stocks of the final game of the final shine, the commentators aptly point out Cody smiling.
Yo, Zayn off the ground, Zayn could get killed. Up till, all right, here we go. Here we go. Last stop. Cody, look at Cody smiling. He's ready for this. He loves it. I'm standing up. Yeah, I'm standing up, bro. I can't believe this. Let's go. Last game. He gets grabbed. Wait a minute. Tech chase. Zayn's turn. Misses it. Cody's turn. Oh my God, again. Yo. Wait a minute. One more. Can Cody get this edge guard? Take it. Oh no. Zayn's leaving. What was that? Oh, what's happening? It's up there. It's Cody Schwab. He's off the stage. Yo, that was crazy.
And the job is finally finished.
That was crazy.
Game
that was
5.
Crazy set.
Set 2.
I don't think
2 3-0s.
I love the emotion from Cody. He wanted this so bad. What a tournament.
These two have given us an absolute present here. And an unbelievable setting way to give.
Crazy right now.
Yo, the crowd here is so hyped.
My man, he's in shock.
Cody Schwab's victory marked the first and only time a Fox player, the origin of the namesake of the tournament series, won an installment of Shine. In doing so, he also broke Zayn's major winning streak spanning from Fate 3 to Super Smash Con 2023, and Cody had certainly proven himself as one of, if not the best solo Fox mains of all time. Once again, the plot was thickening, as Cody had now caught right back up to Zayn in the race for rank 1.
I don't think you ever said, it's easy, and this is why I can do it. It's just, it's going to be hard, and I think people really misinterpreted it when you said that.
What happened early on is, again, I now understand that when I say things, other people interpret it very differently because the way I communicate is not proper, which is understandable now, so I understand why people have this perspective. But basically, people don't know that in 2017, 2018, I was the Fox believer. Like, Leffen, Fiction, all of them were like, it's unwinnable. And I was a doomer. Yeah, and I was the one that was like, no, it's good, and I will prove this. And then I think I just had a meltdown at Summon 9 because I was like, dude, this guy's just too freaking good. I can't deal with it. Like, I don't know what to do. I've done everything I can versus Marth. And I was trying to say, like, I don't know if I could beat him in this matchup, but it came off as this matchup was impossible, blah, blah, blah. Marths are not skilled because I don't know how to speak properly. And so obviously I tried cheat curve it, but then at Summon 11, the thing is, I don't think Zayn played great at Summon 11. I'm going to say it right now. But Mango still won with no punish game and almost no edge guarding. And the way he played neutral is like, okay, I can see why it's actually not that bad. Yeah. And I can see why, especially on FD, which I thought was previously just not even worth it. I was like, I see what he's doing. Okay, I might be able to work with this if I shape some stuff up. And then it was mostly the way he dash ins, like the range he wanted to play at, and the fact that he found a way to dash ins and also fall out of the first hit of Nair, which used to be a much bigger staple. It's not anymore because we found good play for it.
Definitely.
And then I think from there I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna really try and have a better mindset about it.
In between the final Shine and what would be the last major tournament of 2023 to decide the end-of-year rankings, we get a small kind of break event at Riptide 2023 over in Sandusky, Ohio. Bringing in 477 entrants, number-wise this was looking fine, but it was lacking a bit on the tippy top end. Much like Shine, Riptide presented an opportunity for some of the newer blood to test their mettle. Zayn was originally going, but opted to sit this one out after being sick for a bit and wanting to take things easy before the big house. Cody had mentioned in his Shine Winners interview that he wouldn't be attending either, as he had to have a medical procedure done around that time, so of the top 10 from the summer 2023 rankings, that only left Moki, Amsa, Plup, Aklo, and Kadoran. Wizrobe was also in attendance, which, alongside Plup, was a rare sight to be honest, but he wasn't eligible for the summer 2023 rankings due to inactivity, so this left him in a rather weird spot sitting as the initial 6th seed. One of the bigger pieces of foreshadowing coming from this event was in a bit of a dark horse player named Ossify. A Marth main from Michigan, Ossify, perhaps like Morse Code, was a kind of Michigan-only player, meaning he wouldn't really travel to a lot of stuff outside of his region. GOML was the only out-of-region event he had entered in 2023 prior to Riptide, and he got 33rd there, which was honestly really good, but no one knew how to evaluate this guy coming into an admittedly less stacked event. Ossify showed up huge though, with some shades of Zayn coming through. He lost in pools pretty early, but was able to grind it out with wins over Panda and Ginger, and then he'd take none to Game 5 in the main bracket, but unfortunately wouldn't be able to close the book on it. He'd exit at 13th here, but like I said before, there was a bit of foreshadowing to be had when it came to this player, so stay tuned.
Oh, wait. What?
No jump.
Yeah, he might be in. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
And Ossify with the upset.
Now, other than a few raised eyebrows for a new Marth main on the block, this tournament offered the chance for a lot of new players to make a move into top 8. Tying Otsavai at 13th, we had Polish, Magi, and Justice. Then at 9th, we'd get Zuppy, Nunn, and a couple surprise entries in Kadoran and Aklo. Both of these players would exit before top 8 by the hands of Peach mains going on their own respective runs. Laud taking out Kadoran, and B-Bats taking out Aklo. B-Bat snagged a few good wins here, with Aklo of course being one of the best, but he was able to eliminate Magi, beat Zamu in pools, and take Kadoran to Game 5 before eventually falling out of the bracket at 7th place.
B-Bats needs something. He's getting a little bit too desperate.
B-Bats is going to have to start
He finds a grab!
All right,
is
now
he going to be able to
this
close
chain
it
grab
out?
is not that brutal. You're going to go to the middle of the stage and usually just take an aerial.
Finds a
but
nair.
now, Great
Has to rinse
Peaches
and
close
repeat.
this out.
What's the move?
Great Peaches close
Finds
this
a nair,
out.
another nair. Oh my
Another
god!
one.
He's side B's high.
He's really high, but no jump. Went to the ledge.
Oh, he's gonna ledge dash. Oh, B-Bats runs all the way to center. Aklo's just waiting there.
Menacingly.
Is that
That's
a forward
it.
throw? And that's it! B-Bats is in top 8!
B-Bats was eliminated from Riptide by Ben, a Sheik main from Wisconsin who was initially seeded at 17th here. He greatly outplaced his seed though, ending up at 5th alongside Axe. And lastly, Moki once again looked like he had an opportunity to take a major here, albeit one without Zane, Cody, or Jmook in attendance, but he wasn't able to get there thanks to a massive upset by Laud. Laud made a truly unbelievable losers run to 3rd place after falling to Gatsu in winners, defeating Wenz, Grab, Flash, Polish, Kadoran, Amsa, Axe, and Moki before getting taken out by Wizrobe in a Game 5 knockout.
The crowd going crazy for Mr. Saturn. Mr. Saturn making the feature.
Oh.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, doesn't get the slide.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah,
doesn't get the. Oh,
thank
yo.
you. I was like, say,
Just
jump
like
out
that.
that shot.
Just
That
like that.
It's not that good. All right, so Moki back in it. No,
didn't get good
DI
DI either.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yep, in line.
The star of this show, though, was found in our winners and grand finals matches between the Recluses of Plup and Wizrobe. Up until this tournament, these two players went to almost nothing. Of notable tournaments, Plup attended Genesis 9, Major Upset, and CEO 2023, while Wizzy only went to CEO and a smaller event called Invincible 7 in Wisconsin. At CEO, Plup and Wizrobe also met in winners and grands, with Plup taking wins in both, and given Plup's insanely lopsided lifetime set record against Wizrobe of 21-2 before Riptide, many thought this would be done and dusted. Plup did quickly 3-0 Wizrobe in their winners final set, but in grands, things got entertaining real fast. A back and forth set 1 culminated in Wizzy taking a Game 5 win to reset the bracket, his first set win against Plup since CEO 2019, and before that tipped off 10 in 2014. And the action wouldn't end there either, as these two battled in likely their most competitive set yet, going the full 10-game distance. Wizzy fought tooth and nail to make the Game 10 happen, but upon getting there, he would be met with a brick wall in Plup, completely running away with it to take Riptide 2023.
Wizzy go, Ultra Instinct, ba, 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 ba. Is he going to dodge all these F tilts?
Plup is definitely cheering right now.
He's camping the edge, bro, but he's...
wait,
Yeah,
that's it.
Plup gets it
and
done.
Plup is your Riptide 2023 champion. Let's go.
Beautiful set.
Well
Shots to
played,
Wizzy for... It looked over.
Oh, yeah.
And then he definitely made a set. Yeah,
no, it's not.
Gets the game on found. Shouts to Plup, played amazing.
Yeah, Plup got it together because he was getting packed up.
He was getting packed up.
I'm like, I don't know, man.
I feel like if Wizzy takes that first stock on Fountain, I'm like, I don't know.
Shout out to the crowd. Cheering for
crowd
Plup.
fake as hell. Crowd fake as hell. They were cheering against him the whole time.
Shooting in the gym. But Plup, he got the fresh hiatus.
Somewhat ironically, Riptide was less about giving newer players an opportunity to shine and was more a reminder of the pedigree of Melee's veterans. Plup and Wizrobe were almost nowhere to be found all year, yet here they were for one brief moment to remind people why they can still hang with the best of them. Riptide provided an exciting tournament for those in attendance, as well as a nice bit of breathing room for our big three who earned a well-deserved break. And they were going to need it too, as the final major of 2023, alongside one of the most stacked brackets of the year, was just one short month away. At long last, we finally arrived. It's October 22nd, 2023 in Detroit, Michigan, and we've reached Championship Sunday of one of the most top-heavy brackets of the year. The Big House 11 was the final major tournament standing between our competitors and a shot at the title of Best in the World, and everyone made sure to come out to try to prove it. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Zane, Cody, Jmook, Amsa, Moki, Mango, Hungrybox, even Wizzy and Plup returned here for another go. This was, after all, the last chance for anyone to make a mark. Leffen had dropped out of the event rather last minute, but even without him, the Big House 11 and its 1011 entrants slotted itself as the second largest tournament of 2023, featuring 9 out of 10 players ranked in the top 10. And with that, the stage was set. Zayn and Cody were our first and second seeds, Plup at 4th thanks to that win at Riptide, and Jmook, Mango, Wizrobe, and Hungrybox rounded out the projected top 8, minus Leffen's drop of course. Surprisingly, Amsa, the winner of the Big House 10, was initially seeded at 9th, and Moki dropped down to 10th. As for stakes, much like GOML, a win from Zayn here would certainly put him in the lead for rank 1. If Cody won, things would get pretty difficult to evaluate, as he'd tie Zayn for major victories in 2023, and the same could be said about Jmook, but it would be between him and Cody for rank 2 and 3. It's also worth mentioning that only Mango and HBox of the top seeds had won a Big House before, with Mango taking 2, 4, 6, and 9, while HBox took 7 and 8. Starting with doubles, the biggest note here was that Plup was actually at a tournament, but he didn't team with Hungrybox this time. Instead, he paired up with Joshman, placing second after getting reset by Azel and Zuppy. The Big House 11 marked the first time Plup hadn't won Melee doubles at an event since Super Smash Con 2019. Now, this did come with a bit of an asterisk, as the question still remained on whether or not we'd see a return of Plupbox in the near future, but that wouldn't be happening for the remainder of 2023.
They're down 2. Oh my god, Josh has seen. Oh my god. Because Plup grab plays at the same time. And Plup gives it up.
That's
oh my god. 5 in a row.
Zuppy Azel.
Wow.
That was crazy.
What
Because
just
that was
happened?
like a dominant second set. Usually when somebody barely wins 3-2, they get annihilated the second set.
Alright, now we gotta talk about the rise of Kong. 2023 had marked a bit of a renaissance year for Donkey Kong, with more and more players returning to Monkey. Players like Da, Akir, Kwang, and many others were representing this character with higher and higher placements that caught the attention of the greater community. In addition to Mo traveling from Denmark to represent the ape, the former best player in Project M, Junebug, made the full-time switch to DK as well. And Junebug's tournament was pretty unbelievable. All the way back in round 1 pools, June had to face off against Magi, number 16 on SSBM Rank Summer 2023. The two had played in 2022 at Double Down, where June was playing Dr. Mario, and Magi won that set. At the Big House though, this round 1 pools match would honestly become one of the crowd's favorites. June started off hot, taking the first 2 games in what looked like a comfort matchup, but then Magi slowly clawed her way back into the match, forcing a Game 5. It went down to final stock, and with all the momentum looking in Magi's favor, Junebug ripped a charged giant punch to try to create some space, but he connected with the weak hitbox that actually allows him to jab reset and create an even bigger punish. June takes this one all the way, with one final up B to really get the crowd going in the year of the DK. He'd follow that one up with a win on Sir Miras's Peach, then would take Nun's Captain Falcon to Game 5, but be sent to losers, where he'd beat another Falco in Ginger before falling out to Aklo at 13th place. This 13th from Junebug marked Donkey Kong's highest placement at a North American post-Slippy era Melee major, and it was one of the more exciting storylines of this entire bracket.
Taking some of the hits and then
grab. Yep.
Okay. What's the
Regrab? Yep. How does he change it now? Yeah, wanted like weak hit maybe into a back air.
Right.
But this can be killed. This can be killed.
We crouch tech chasing with DK. We tech chasing with DK.
Wait a second. Vish. It's last stop.
Doable. Game 5. Last stop.
Vish.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Got the punch all wound up.
Magi, keeping it going right
great.
now. DK spends it. He's got the jab reset. No way. Vish.
Is it happening? Is it happening? Oh, he misses the forehand. Junebug gets it.
You gotta be kidding me. Junebug shuts it down. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well.
Okay, remember what I said about those weird Michigan players who don't really go to anything but somehow manage to do the craziest shit imaginable when it matters the most? Well, let's first talk about Asafai, who had that pretty solid run back at Riptide. He really proved that foreshadowing, as in Winners Round 1, he would take the first seed Zayn all the way to Game 5 in a competitive Marth Ditto. Asafai wasn't able to go the distance here and would unfortunately fall to Crudo right after at 33rd, but this was a wild glimpse of what could be coming in 2024. Also, while hundreds of people were crowded around that match, Jmook was just across the setups, getting 3-0'd by Faust, a Jigglypuff player from Ontario, Canada. Jmook, off of this surprising defeat, went on a pretty solid losers run, beating Gatsu, B-Bats, Morse Code 762, and Wizrobe in a close Game 5, which by the way is insane that this was for 13th, before bowing out to Zayn for 9th place. So now Jmook's out of the Big House, as well as the conversation for rank 1. That leaves us with Zayn, who almost got upset by Asafai, and Cody Schwab, who, wait, hang on a sec, there's Morse Code again. Now, okay, you would think that this Faust Jmook set was the upset of the bracket, but no. In the craziest upset of the Big House 11, Morse Code 762 managed to pull another rabbit out of another hat and beat Cody Schwab, the 2nd seed. So Cody has his work cut out for him again, pun intended. He beat Chango 3-0, then almost got eliminated at 25th by The Real Thing, an Ohio Falco main who was honestly playing the hottest I've ever seen, but Cody scrapes by there too. After that, Cody beat Faust 3-0, Polish 3-1, and Nunn 3-1 to somehow qualify for top 8. That's already 5 straight sets, just to potentially be eliminated the next day at 7th, but let's pause for a minute. Who else is left in this bracket? Our top 8 shook out to Amsa vs Plup and Moki vs Mango in winners, plus Zane vs Aklo and HBox vs Cody in losers. Okay, not a bad draw for Cody, though given past events he'd likely eventually have to fight Zane. But how did Zane even get there in the first place? Well, Amsa getting initially seeded a bit lower kind of helped him out here, allowing him to run into Zane and get one step closer to repeating that Big House 10 victory.
It's like he's having a lot of fun up there.
You got to jump?
Nah, he's dead.
Oh, hold it, bro. Bro.
Oh, cool. I thought he was going to
That's it,
yeah,
bro.
And Amsa. And winner side top
No
eight,
way
baby.
could Zane make it back.
That's crazy.
They told Amsa that just to make it to top 8, you need to beat X, Y, Z, A, B, C, as well as Hungrybox and then Zane.
He said, if you're a big dog, I'm a dinosaur, baby. Yoshi, let's go. We in here.
Mango and Moki were scheduled to face off following wins over Nunn and Salt respectively, and Mango in particular picked up one of the clips of the tournament by 4-stocking Aklo in under a minute.
Yeah, Mango's converting really well off of kind of like these just straight hits. That was a center stage into death.
The kid might be waking up this.
Oh, the secret third option.
Secret third option, dude.
Spacing so good that you get the Phantom, and I love...
Oh, DI mix up, dude, you're dead at 64.
And this is looking like a 4-stock after we saw that almost 3-stock from Aklo's end? What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mango just woke up, and when your opponent's playing this good, I mean...
Oh my goodness!
For the highlight reel, I think we're going to be seeing that combo for years.
Absolutely.
That's going straight into the Big House 12 trailer.
Plup was granted top 8 access after a 3-0 on KJH. This led to a competitive 5-game set between KJH and Aklo for top 8, which Aklo would ultimately win, and Zane's loss to Amsa forced him into Jmook, there due to his upset loss. Cody eliminated Nunn like I mentioned before, and HBox triumphed over Salt to continue that top 8 streak he'd been holding on to. So, with our top 8 finalized, we had a lot of good melee to watch and a lot of questions that needed answering. Would Mango's Big House power-up be real here, carving his name onto a 5th banner? Could Moki fulfill the prophecy with a somewhat favorable winner's side bracket ahead of him? And what would happen on that destined collision course between Zane and Cody? Starting off, Plup continued to show that ever-present dominance over Amsa, quickly sending him into the loser's bracket with a 3-0 where he would play the winner of Cody HBox. Again, all things considered, this still looks quite solid for Cody given his set records against both players, and he shows up big here, extending that set streak in losers to 7 wins with a pair of 3-0s to advance into losers semis. Moki would get his run back on Mango after a nail-biter set at GOML, and this one would be no different. Game 1 is all Mango, Game 2 is all Moki, Game 3 is a high percent last stock but goes to Mango. Game 4, Moki swags out on last stock, and in Game 5 it of course goes down to the very end with Mango pulling away at the finish line once again. This Star-Spangled combo was just so unapologetically Mango, and the crowd went absolutely nuts for it.
Who's taking it? Who gets the first opening? Who gets the first opening?
Oh, shine on shield. Mango just rolling back.
Okay, drilled it.
Mango rolling back this time, and he gets the shine.
Big opening. Oh, goes right in. Oh, it keeps going. It doesn't end. Shine on me. And Mango takes it. One shine opening is all it takes for the kids.
This brought us to another rough matchup by set history, a Moki-Zane losers quarters, Zane being another player with an undefeated record on Moki. This one was unfortunately not as competitive though, as Zane quickly dispatched Moki with a 3-0, making Moki's Fete the highest placement for a Canadian player at the final major of the year. And with this win, we were scheduled for another bout between the two best players of 2023, Zane and Cody. But before that, we'd get a bit of an old school classic in winners finals, Mango versus Plup. These two have had historically fun sets dating as far back as the very first Smash Summit. This was also the first time these two had met in bracket this year, with 2022 only having 2 Game 5 sets at Lost Tech City as their only in-person matches. But this set was exciting for a couple of reasons. 1. Mango was a single set away from making it into Grand Finals on the winner's side, a player who has been present in Grands one way or another in half of the Big House tournaments. 2nd, Plup was a single set away from making it into Grand Finals on the winner's side, a player who had made it to the finish line at the Big House 7 and 8, but was stopped by Hungrybox both times. Either player sitting in Grands was an exciting prospect, and the other falling into losers would certainly make for some drama at the end. Plup would take the first 2 games pretty convincingly, and Mango would answer back with a Game 3 to stay alive, but Plup just looked too composed. Even with Mango heating up and the crowd behind him, Plup would stifle all of it and force Mango to fight it out in losers.
94 on this bird. He's off stage at 108.
He might be dead right here.
That's it.
Plup has won the winner's bracket of the Big House 11. He still has what's probably going to be an intense set to close out the tournament. Wouldn't that be crazy to have Plup be I don't think he's ever won a Big House.
I don't think he's won a Big House. He wasn't even at the last Big House.
No.
So with Plup hanging out in Grands, we move back to losers semis in what was arguably the best set of the tournament. SSBM ranked Summer 2023 number 1 Zane versus SSBM ranked Summer 2023 number 2 Cody. In the span of a year, these two players had produced easily the highest level melee sets imaginable, and here would be no different. Not to mention, they were incredibly close in their 2023 head-to-head, with Zane slightly edging Cody out in sets 6-5, but Cody actually slightly being ahead in game count across those sets at 22-21. Now, of course, this set went to Game 5, but let's take a second to talk about how we got there. Zane struck first with a 2-stock on FOD, Cody's classic counterpick of Dreamland paid off for him with a 2-stock in reply to even the set, and then we got Final Destination, a stage that was so heavily dominated by Marth against Fox over the years. Players like Cody and Mango began to prove that this stage may not be as free as it once was though, with Cody oh so cleanly dancing around Zane's threat ranges and confirming that Game 3. A run back to FD went nearly all Zane with a JV3, and suddenly we had arrived at that destined Game 5. This one was about as back and forth as you could get. As soon as one stock would drop, the other would follow. Zane brought Cody down to last stock first and missed a down tilt that likely ends the set here by a mere 2 frames. And those 2 frames were all Cody needed to swing the set back in his favor. Zane would desperately mash out of a potential set-ending grab combo, but it wouldn't be enough. Cody takes it 3-2.
Cody playing so tricky.
Cody's looking good right now. But Zane's in. Down tilt.
Oh, that's gonna do it! That's gonna do it! Cody knocks the big dog Zane out of the tournament. 107 on the young smash. The hit confirm off of that sign.
Woo! Cody.
What's really insane about this set, aside from it being one of the more technically impressive matches of the Big House 11, was that many at the time didn't even register that they were likely playing for rank 1 right there. If Zane hits that down tilt and wins the set, even just denying Cody a potential major win likely means Zane secures rank 1 for the year. But that's not what happened, and we have to move on to Cody versus Mango to see what happens next. Like I mentioned before, Mango was a bit of a problem for Cody, particularly in 2022 where Cody only won a single set out of 8 against him. But this Cody was on a new level, composed and unshakable even against a crowd favorite like Mango. Almost every game went to last stock, but the opportunity for Mango to take a 5th Big House banner would be taken away here, as Cody would shut it all down and bring himself to Grand Finals, now playing 9 straight sets to stay alive.
Mango on his last stock, potentially of the Big House 11.
But Cody also on his last stock this game. Cody looking for some kind of grab, some kind of knockdown. The crowd the loudest I've heard them when a Donkey Kong wasn't on the screen.
Me too. Mango getting the grab. He's in.
Oh, neutral off of him. Oh, Cody!
Mango no fastball. A little bit of a panic of a roll.
Cody's looking for some
Mango's in.
custom stuff.
Quick by the get up attack. Mango goes up.
Oh,
he's dead.
Back there.
Cody. Schwab.
Goodness.
Takes it 3-1 over Mango.
And so, this brought us to Grand Finals of the very last major of 2023. Plup in winners versus Cody in losers. As former teammates, we've seen these two make Grand Finals together in the past, and even in this year at Major Upset, where their winners in Grand Sets both went to Game 5. Plup, unfortunately, had yet to take a set over the man once called IBDW, though, with his last win happening at the online LACS4 in 2022, and the last in-person win before that at Smash Summit 11. The numbers were firmly in Cody's favor, but Plup did have a set of buffer to work with here to finally etch his name into the Big House series. Either way though, a brand new Big House champion would be crowned right here. Plup looked strong and got the crowd going with a Game 1 win, but Cody would quickly even the scales after his counter pick with a 2-stock of his own. Game 3 was where things really looked like Plup was locked in, going up 3 stocks to 1 and not giving Cody an inch. Plup was one singular game away from finally becoming a Big House winner, but Cody, once again, was not going down without a fight. He brought it to Game 5, a back-and-forth seesaw battle would ensue on Yoshi's story to either bring us to a Set 2 or a major tournament winner who barely attended any events in 2023. The Shy Guys would fly in to try to give Plup a little support, but even that wouldn't be enough, as Cody completely ran Plup over last stock to force a second set.
Cody Schwab playing super aggressive and actually just running and gunning under Plup with these up airs.
Shy Guys!
The Shy Guys come into play! Oh, and this is an edge guard opportunity. This is going to be damage. He did the perfectly timed anti-air back here, and
Plup's still living, but...
Oh, the air dodge gets scouted out, Bobby. He's got to turn into Princess Zelda. And Cody Schwab resets the bracket.
Man. That Game 5 was closer than I thought it was going to be. But now we're in Set 2.
After a short break, we'd run it right back into our second and final set to decide the Big House 11, and this one was not even remotely like the first. Plup, a player who's gotten so close at the Big House in the past, getting second at 7 and 8 to Hungrybox, versus Cody, a first-timer to the Big House Grand Finals, looking to complete one of the most wild losers bracket runs we've ever seen. It would go last stock in each, but Cody would not be denied here. A quick 3-0 put an end to Plup's dream win, placing Cody at the head of the Big House 11.
But right now, it's looking like Cody is one stock away from being our Big House 11 champion. Tearing through more names than I could possibly remember in the losers bracket propel at this super tournament. Last stop, Game 3, Grand Final, Set 2.
Yeah, I mean, Plup needs to have back right now. These up airs. Plup needs to get
sharked. But
he's
got
got to
a
get
full stack of needles. Got a whole new stack. Shine.
Needles get baited out.
Down tilt. Oh, he's getting
this is damage. 80-0 right now. The nice connect. What's it going to be? Waves on up smash. 150. You can't lift that.
Cody Schwab. Can you just say the name one more time for me, Cole? Tell me what just happened in the last 2 days. After Cody was sent to losers by
Morse code
in
Samus
like the
at the
round
beginning.
of 128 or
That's
something
right.
like that.
And defeating Faust. I gotta press back on my browser button right now. Hang on a minute, the thing is loading. You literally have to dive me into so many pages to even read it. Faust, Polish Nun. And then I'm loading the next page because that's how this works. And I don't want to misspeak here. Hungrybox, Amsa, Zane, Mango, and Plup twice. So, I mean, you can do another finger if you want. 9 sets against all of the best players in the world,
just
basically.
the losers bracket.
In just the losers bracket. And
What a performance.
never even once running out of steam.
Unsponsored Egg Dog Cody Schwab is the Big House 11 champion.
We talk about, again, probably the greatest losers run Melee has ever seen. And you juxtapose that with all of the things that have been going on in your life, things that have been going on with kind of your mentality as a competitor. Where do you stand in all of that?
I guess it's fitting. You thrive in the environment you're brought up in, right? And I obviously had a turbulent life, so I guess it makes sense that when it gets really hard, I start playing better.
Commentators would often discuss Cody's mentality as a contributor to his shortcomings within the game, but the Cody we got at the Big House 11 was a completely different beast. He was a true beacon of grit and positive outlook, and it showed here. The Big House 11 was a rare tournament in which few could question that the winner was unequivocally the best player in the room on that day. Cody didn't have bracket luck, he didn't get to dodge any bad matchups, and he beat every single person who had any chance of either beating him or winning the whole damn thing. Even after that questionable loss to Morse Code, Cody almost symbolically won 11 straight sets, beating Chango, The Real Thing, Faust, Polish, Nun, Hungrybox, Amsa, Zane, Mango, and Plup twice. This win would go down as one of the greatest losers bracket runs in Melee history, and certainly the best one in modern Melee. The quality and volume of players he beat on his path to gold in a time period where the competition was as stiff as ever, without a shadow of a doubt, showed that Cody was easily a contender for best in the world. And speaking of that race for number 1, Zane and Cody were now completely even at 4 major wins apiece, and the Big House was the last tournament of 2023. So, what now?
If you get good enough, you can do anything you want to, Cody.
I want to get top 8 of Big House.
That's a real fine tournament. A real fine tournament. You get a first-class Falcon matchup education there.
I want to get literally any esports team that can pay me enough to eat food to live. Then I want to get ranked #1 in the world.
The conclusion of the Big House 11 marked the end of major tournaments for 2023, but the community was divided. Jmook had pretty cleanly slotted himself into the #3 ranking for the end of the year, while Zayn and Cody were the clear numbers 1 and 2 in the world, but who you put atop that podium kind of depended on who you asked. Did you value peaks? Well, I don't think anyone can out-peak Cody's peaks. The dude had arguably the greatest losers bracket run of all time under his belt, alongside a historic victory at the last Shine, as well as wins at Major Upset and Battle of BC5 to boot. Alright, so you value consistency then. Well, Zayn had been the pinnacle of consistency in 2023. He had a bit of a rocky start to the year, but won 3 open bracket majors in a row at Tipped Off, Fete, and GOML, and then took Super Smash Con, the 3rd most attended event of the year. If you were keeping count, yeah, that's 4 major wins each for Zayn and Cody. These two were as close in contention for a title of the best in the world as 2 competitors could get. They were even in majors, even in sets against each other at 6 and 6, and even all the way down to the game at 25 apiece. In such an unprecedented situation, no one really knew who truly deserved the #1 slot. So for the first time in Melee's history, we ditched the numbers and decided the #1 ranking by a single 1st to 10 match between the only 2 players who deserved to have it. On December 15th, 2023, Zayn and Cody traveled to Los Angeles, California for one last set to determine the best player in the world at The Match, the fight for #1. The match was hosted by Ludwig Ågren and featured a series of show matches leading up to that fateful Zayn-Cody 1st to 10. On the 1st to 5 undercard, we first received Slime vs. Blur, which unironically was one of the most hyped matches of the day. Slime and Blur had played a 1st to 5 show match at Genesis, an online community fundraising event back in 2022, which Blur would win 5-2. But this one wouldn't go that way at all. Going the full 9-game distance, Slime would miraculously weave around what could have been a sure reversal from Blur and go up 3 stocks to 1, but Blur would claw his way back to final stock. After one last people's elbow, the set ended 5-4 in favor of Slime.
Oh, there was an up air window there. It's roll grab city from both players right now.
Oh, that's a knee. That would have been huge.
Oh. Hey, good idea though.
You gotta go for the read.
It was a right call.
I said you go for a crazy gamble here. I respect that.
That works out.
Wow.
How the fuck
Blur
did that work?
he waited way too long to up B. I don't know why.
Blur's just hanging out in no man's land, and it cost him.
All right, he's got to finish this stock. He's got to close the stock out, otherwise it is over.
It's over.
You can't let Slime get a grab, re-grab.
Oh, wait a minute.
I believe Blur can bring this back.
That's how he closed out
to the
game
ledge
7.
we go.
Oh, Slime adapting.
Okay.
Oh my god. He took it from him.
Oh.
I don't like how much Slime's dash chancing.
I love that down smash.
You don't like it for. You don't like nothing.
I just want him to get a hit.
Oh, the trade is.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous.
The hits, bro? wait.
I don't want it to go last stop. Oh no. Did not wait.
Oh. Go high, never die.
It feels like it's destined to go last stock.
I hope it does.
Oh, the run off up there? That was nice.
Oh my god, he's just swinging. Oh, on the platform. That's bad. Okay.
I'm shaking so much, bro.
Johnny hits us.
A stomp there,
playing so careful. Wow, finds a way into center. That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
It was always meant to be.
Good.
Last stock, last game.
Don't do it!
Look at
Josh trying to hold Slime back from running off stage.
Oh, mango! Oh. There it goes. Oh,
no, Josh.
That's it.
Wow!
Wow.
And off a random F smash, which I was talking so much smack on.
I told you, you don't know, Lud.
No, I don't. I really don't. That's why you're the guy with the brains in this game.
That was a hot set.
Game 9, last stock.
The next undercard match was between Salt and Magi, which honestly was a bit of a blowout, with Magi winning that one 5-1, and then we'd get an ultimate undercard between Ludwig and Noah J456 for $20,000, which became the biggest money match ever conducted in Smash, where Lud would get 5-0'd.
I think drunk Ludwig at that party just didn't realize how good Noah was, or he wouldn't have done this. I don't know.
We need Cutie to give us an accurate retelling of the night. Oh no, this looks like it must be it. No! Ludwig gets dragged down to hell for a 5-0 versus Noah J.
Oh, he's happy as can be.
Dubbin. Poor Dubbin. Oh. This one hurts the gang and the boys.
Big fuck you to Zeke.
Dude, right?
I'll never forgive you till I die.
Oh, he gives him a
He went
handshake.
he shook Zeke's hand like it was a backroom government deal. He shook the treasurer's hand. He's like, "Hey, we played that market real well."
Yeah, I was very drunk at that party. I might have undersold my skills at that party.
This might be the biggest hustle of all time. Yeah.
Our final undercard would go back to Melee for Leffen versus Moki, which would go in Leffen's favor 5-1 and finally bring us to the main event. Now, 1st to 10s have very different dynamics from a traditional 1st to 2 or 3 that we play in normal tournaments. Not to mention how you prepare knowing you're only playing for a single set is different, how fatigue or momentum may factor in is different, and just the fact that players don't practice for specifically this type of match because it's the first time this type of match has ever counted for rankings. Regardless though, we finally arrived and our players sat down to corroborate just how close and unprecedented of a situation this really was.
I think at the end of the day you have to recognize that both of us just had like insanely good years, and you can't put too much stock in, regardless of what the title is, what Reddit says, what Twitch says, what chat says, you can't put that much stock in whatever happens in a 1st to fucking 10 that's planned in like a month in advance. It's just that's just going to come down to almost, I don't want to say RNG, but it almost does.
It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip.
Yeah,
Can you talk about how close you guys have been and why you came up with this idea in the first place?
So it's actually even more ridiculous than I think people realize. So this year, obviously, we're 6-6 in sets, 25-25 in games. If you take away all season, we're 5-5 in sets, 21-21 in games, because all season was a charity event. So even if you get rid of the charity event, it doesn't matter. We both have 4 major wins this year. I have slightly higher peaks. He had more consistency. He didn't have the bad placements that I did. I had the better placements in super majors. But even going back to when quarantine ended, we both have 8 major wins when you go back 2 years fully. And I think our head-to-head even then is like 11-11, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So at this point, it's like we've been very, very back and forth for so long, and I think we have over 15,000 Slippy games played together.
What?
Love was asking before, it's like, isn't it crazy that they're warming up with each other right now? I'm like, these guys play every day. It'd be weird if they didn't play today.
It's like, what's going to happen? Are we going to like save a read that we haven't saved for 15,000 games? That we've like, it's just not going to happen.
I also 16,000th game read.
The thing is, I also think both of us want to set an example where we kind of hate when people dodge or don't play friendlies or are scared of hiding shit. It's like you should want to be the best player you can. Stop hiding shit. Stop being a fucking little bitch about it, and just play the person. And if people like to compete against other people, but the point of Melee should be to compete against yourself to be the best you could be.
Game 1 opened with an as-expected close one, going down to final stock, but Cody would be the one to strike first. The as-expected counterpick to FD from Zayn posed another problem though, as Cody dominantly 3-stocked him to go up 2-0, but a run back to FD put Zayn on the board. Cody would pick up 2 more games in return, now up 4-1, and Zayn would continue to stem the bleeding, but Cody really seemed unbeatable at this point. In Game 8, with Cody already up 5-2, he'd nearly 4-stock Zayn in what looked like the first nail of many to go into the coffin.
No, Cody's just looking like the best player in the world.
Yep, it's not.
That's all.
I think this is maybe the highest level play we've seen. Like, Cody versus At least on Cody's side here, for sure. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, Cody versus Marth right now is one of the, like,
Jesus Christ. He knows the mix-ups.
You want water? Yeah.
I got you, man.
Mega's just a water boy now.
I'll take a slash shot.
How it changes.
Yeah, you know what? And Mega will stamp his feet sometimes. He'll throw a little fit, but at the end of the day, he's like, look, I got to get the best players some water. Here you go.
Sometimes you know it's not your time. Entering Game 9.
Game 9 is 6-2, Dubbin.
He's on Battlefield.
A lot of people in this room have no respect for the best player in the world. Everybody just stayed still. I got you, Cody. All right, fuck it. I'll do it, I guess.
That's the humble go.
Game 9 would begin, a must-win for Zayn to keep the momentum alive, and he'd get it. Then he'd get Game 10, and Game 11, and Game 12. It wasn't a near 4-stock like what Cody got in Game 8, Zayn had made it emphatically clear as 4 pictures remained on the screen for the first time in this match that he was here to prove he was the best. In what felt like an instant, the match was tied at 6-6. Cody Schwab was just a few short games away from seeing his hard work fizzle away into nothing. Was that match fatigue kicking in, or was any doubt or uncertainty beginning to take shape? If Cody's year showed us anything though, it was in a familiarity to having his back against the wall. He had won a Game 5 grind at Major Upset, a loser's bracket victory at Battle of BC5, stopped what looked like a top form Zayn at Shine, and capped it all off with that all-time losers run at the Big House 11. With all of his achievements coming to a head here, knowing the player sitting opposite him was his perfect equal, and in a match that had just become perfectly tied, Cody would take a second to recollect himself, taking 4 of the next 5 games to seal the deal. After 17 grueling games, Cody Schwab would become the first ever solo Fox main in 21 years of competitive Melee to be ranked #1.
Oh my. And Cody's just playing.
You know what called the MVP was that timeout by Cody. That was the greatest timeout of all time.
Could have been.
He became a whole other. He went crazy after that.
He hasn't won yet. It's not over.
They can't find the grab. He's just playing. He's playing
Cody's
like it's
like,
the
I got
last game on a first attempt.
He needs this.
Huge win.
Good decision. But even then, Cody loves getting that one hit.
I was just gonna say that. One
Even then,
little
you're
trade.
happy with that.
Nice. Oh. Unlucky tipper. Oh, no nair there. Cody
Cody's
just
playing it safe.
He's testing him.
And often he says not to do that.
Yeah. He does say, don't test me, please.
I think it's over, boys.
No. Oh, maybe
Counterplay
Kirby
is insane here.
Can Cody close it out? This is honestly even more about Cody than anyone else. Can he not throw this?
No.
Let's jump
Ever since Josh joined the team, dude, it's just.
Hashtag we dried
No! And he upbeats the other way so he doesn't hit Zane. Cody has won the first to 10.
He is #1 in the world. 10-7.
Wow.
Cody is shaky. Can't believe it.
Oh my
He's
God.
done it. He's taking a moment.
The reason the match was as exciting as it was because the 2 best Melee players in the world were fully invested. They were both playing as if this was the most important Melee ever played, as if the match would answer all of these questions about who had the best year and who really was the best player once and for all. But the match was never meant to be that. Everyone knew Zane or Cody could have won any first to 10 on any day because they were just that close. What the match was a beautiful, singular note into the symphony of Melee. When 2022 had concluded, Zane had ushered in a new era of Melee, finally becoming the best player in the world. When 2023 began, Jmook and Cody looked to amend a new chapter in this story with electrifying starts to the year. Zane will regain the lead against the 2 New Yorkers with 4 major wins seemingly out of nowhere, and it seemed like that amendment to the story was all but a fantasy, as Zane had surely locked in that title once again. Or at least that's what everyone thought before Cody took those historic wins at Shine and the Big House. It really does seem like only yesterday where we recall Super Smash Con 2019, the clips of the then named IBDW tilting following a spectacular defeat, a memory of the past showing only a fragment of Cody's many hardships over the years. In a year where no ranking decision would have left everyone satisfied, Melee decided to do something unique, allowing its 2 best to plug in for one last time in 2023 and let the game decide who was the best. History will never forget that in the end, this was a story that both players co-authored, a grand finale to the closest race for #1 Super Smash Bros. Melee had ever known. And to cap off such an unrivaled and massive underdog story, Vish's commentary moment in that unforgettable SmashCon 2019 set finally came full circle for the best player in the world. He quit law school for this. Whew, okay, that was a long one, but that's it. The story of Melee in 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely a labor of love if you couldn't tell, and I would really like to be able to do this every year, so if you guys want to see that, you should leave a comment and let me know. This took a while to make and cost me a ton of time and money, so if you want to support me and you most importantly have the disposable income to do so, you can join my Patreon over at the link in the description. Thank you again to my top tier patrons who help make videos like these possible, including Avishua Stein, Bobby Wasabi, Eric is Cool, Nick Mackaman, and NNG Esports. Alright, that's it. I hope you liked it. Let me know how I can do it better next year. See you next time.